Well, g'day footy fans and welcome to St Peter's College for round 3 of the Adelaide Footy League Division 1. Today's two clubs both wear their history as a source of pride. One, old scholars from an educational institution 176 years old. The other, a community club in its 162nd season. But in modern day sport, it's all about your last game. And last week, both had bad losses. History's great, but today, it's all about redemption. Bringing this big game to you are great live stream sponsors. The Banner Crew, 9 News, Buddy Bet, Nearmouth Mouthguards, Sportal, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie Sandals, Bianco New Balance, Farmers Leap Winery, Dartfish, Sports Interactive, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's St Peter's Old Collegians and Tea Tree Gully. If history is written by the victors, who writes today's chapter? Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Gully, big win, big loss. St Peter's zipping 2. What are you expecting today?
I'm expecting, Phil, to make a bold prediction right now. The closest game we've called all year. We haven't had one yet. No, this will be really good. At the end of the day, St Peter's might have lost some cattle, but they've still got a great midfield. They've got the Allen boys. They've got a new ruckman. They've got the Greek Adonis, Johnny Vraldis going over there. On the other side for Tea Tree Gully, you've got the McKay boys. You've got Shower Makers, Tickets Penny getting the tap work. It's going to be a good matchup.
All right, and back Northcott, you've checked out both teams, talked to both camps. What's the vibe?
Pretty positive from both sides. Spock obviously happy to be here on their home ground. Got a few supporters here. Tea Tree Gully, I think they're ready to come here and put up a fight. So it was very positive, a lot of energy from both sides.
Conditions today interesting. Bit of rain at the moment. Hopefully it'll be gone when we come back after the break.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome back. B grade's just been won and done by St Peter's Old Collegians, 9-5-59. Teacher Gully 6-7-49. I reckon that's about a 10-point victory. If my maths is holding up today, TJ, or at least it's 11. St Peter's won that. And we don't have a score actually in the C grade as yet. Possibly because that's a game being played across the other oval at the moment, so they haven't played it yet. Tommy Javor, welcome as we dissect where the curtain raisers are at. St Peter's, Teachery Gully. In the intro I talked about the history. Let's have a little look at St Peter's history, of course very much tied in with the school. The college established 1847, of course the state 1836. A couple of Nobel laureates, 10 South Australian premiers. We'll throw in a Brownlow medalist, Lockie Neal as well. The Old Scholars got together, played their first season 1928, the 4th oldest club behind Adelaide Uni, Kenilworth, and their old mates, Prince Alfred Old Collegians. 2 Division 1 flags in 1935 and 2012. That is a long time between drinks. And they're equal with Rocks and Prince Alfred, who's going to get that 3rd collegiate title. And 35th season in Division 1 of all the colleges, Rocks, Prince Alfred, Old Ignatian, Sacred Heart, Spock have been at the top level the longest.
Yeah, just before we throw the next one, Lockie Neal, the Brownlow medalist, obviously a boarder from Kybee Bowlight up in the Glenelga country area there. And did Mr. Malinowskis go to this school?
He was Mercedes lad.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But Gillan McLaughlin,
yes,
the CEO.
AFL CEO, how could I have missed that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to get many more chances to say that now that he's finally leaving.
Yeah. Interesting last one on that one, mate. The Division 1 flag in 2012, I was the commentator that day as well. No names today playing from that game 11 years ago.
Okay, so you're taking credit for Lockie Neal, for your Glenelg connection, and you're taking credit for St Peter's. All right. Well, getting an early TJ knows. Let's have a look at St Peter's recent history. A little bit of time in Div 2. They had a taste of Div 1 in 2017. But I'll tell you what, how about that 2018 season? 20 and zip. Don't see that too often in Aussie rules. And look, they have been finalists all 4 years that they've been here, although they did go out pretty quickly to a rampaging Prince Alfred last season.
They sure did, mate.
And in terms of the lineup today, couple of changes. You've mentioned the Allens being pretty critical. James Duncan, the captain.
Yes, and I'm not going to lie, mate. I've got my spies, my sources. Both clubs have been great in supporting me with some inside information on these teams. Plenty of players to watch today.
As we move across to Teachery Gully, and while St Peter's are, I guess, the cream of the college teams in the Adelaide Footy League, been the most years in Div 1 and one of the oldest, Teachery Gully, their community. They have been playing football since 1862. That's 161 years ago. They are a huge club. Their junior, senior registrations up around the 800 mark. And I was lucky to be there 2018 at Caterer Oval when they climbed the pinnacle and won their first ever Adelaide Footy League Division 1 flag. It was a special day for all associated with the club. Interestingly, they got relegated the next year. And an interesting little thing in 2020, they won the flag in a year that there was no promotion or relegation. But Athelston, who were winless or finished last in Div 1, asked to be relegated. That spot to be filled was taken by Teachery Gully. And they've done pretty well since that time. We have a look at their recent history. They were a powerhouse team in Div 1 through a lot of the 2010s. You can see there they were just around the mark, TJ, but finally 2018 they broke through.
Yeah, and it was in 2017 for another network. I commentated all their home games, so got to know a lot of the players and can say it is 6 years ago. A lot of those names still appear.
Yeah, we'll see a few of those today. And as you can see there, the yo-yo between 5 wins. And you're probably a little bit unlucky if you get relegated with 5 wins. That's generally considered the point of safety. 2019, there was a lot on 5. They went down. 9-2 premiers in 2020. They finished 5th in 2021. Our only problem was it was a top 4. They missed out.
Yes, I felt the sting of that one myself.
Went to 2022, top 5, and they finished 6th, 9-9. So they have been ultra competitive. They've been around the mark, just fallen short of finals. And TJ, if I remember your previews correctly, you've put Tea Gully, I think, down as a side that will be one of the challengers this year.
Yeah, no, I've been pretty open and honest and transparent about my top 5, and Tea Gully are in there, around 4th or 5th. I think they're going to be very hard to beat at home. They had an off day last week, and the loss of Luke Brown was key. Luke has a hamstring injury, we can confirm, thanks to our sources at Tea Gully. Could potentially be back next week, if not the week after.
So Luke was sort of their big name recruiter as such.
And his first half, he was incredibly dominant. He was the difference in that game. So he was a bad loss, but they'll get him back. And he is, of course, Tea Gully Junior. They play on 0 points. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, and look, just about everybody here is a Tea Gully Junior or is a long-time Tea Gully player. Here's a couple of names here that you'll be keeping a special eye on.
Well, firstly, I just want to make mention of number 13, Aidan Tuckwell, on debut. So, again, as a junior coming through, that special moment where you play with the guys you've probably idolised and you know, you strive to play with. So he's achieving probably a lifelong dream here. So congratulations to Aidan. Alex McKay, the man they call Alma, or Boss, former coach, he slipped back into more of a playing role now with Justin Mascotta, the premiership coach, coming back in. Pistol Pete Personos, he loves the chat. The most lippiest player in the amateur league, I'm told. He'll have plenty to say. Tyler Martin, a second-generation footballer. Chad Shilmakers oozes class. Big Blake Tickets Penny does not mind his own work. He will be giving them first use. And the wings, the deadly off the wings. Zach McKay on one side, and I don't have the other one.
That's okay. We'll find them out as they long. We'll have to assign that one to Beth. Both teams are out on the paddock. They're warming up as we speak. We will be going to the coin toss fairly shortly. Until we do, just a quick recognition of our umpiring crew this afternoon. Field umpire Grantley Byrne and Robert Kane. Boundaries Brett Heritage and Mark Pearce. The goal umpires Jason Collard and Alex Scarman. Whilst we're waiting for the coin toss, we might just do a quick chat about some of the other games, because you are our Division 1 expert on Between the Posts.
9 out of 10 so far this year, Phil. The only one I got wrong was when Broadview beat Port District in the last kick of the game.
And I think everyone would have got that wrong, so you went Robinson Caruso there. Speaking of said Broadview, they're hosting Prince Alfred Old Collegians. We saw Princes last week, and they were magnificent. Yes,
I think PAC will be just far too strong in the middle.
Goody Saints, 1-1. This is an interesting matchup. Goody Saints 1-1, Brighton Bombers 1-1. Both teams had a win, but amongst that, we've called them both have an embarrassing loss.
Yeah, spot on, Phil. And we just got the coin toss coming up.
Yeah, I got
in
the
just
coin
a
toss. We'll cross to Beck as soon as they've had the coin toss.
Yeah, okay. So we're just waiting on the tickets penny again there. Look, Goodwood shocking last week. Brighton shocking in week 1. I'm actually going to take Goodwood at home. I don't think they have 2 bad ones in a row.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Port District got on board last week, taking on Sacred Heart. Both had really big wins last week.
Toughest game.
Both 1-1 up at Lugs Reserve.
Sorry, Phil. Toughest game to pick this week, I think. I will take Port District at home, though, as the toss goes up.
And it's got extricated, landed in a nice bit of mud. Saints have won the toss. They'll kick to our end, which is the northern or Torrens end. Let's go to Beck Northcott, live in the middle of Caterer Oval.
G'day Phil and TJ, just out in the middle here. We just saw Spock win the toss. They will kick to the left of the green. It's a little bit muddy out here in the centre, so it'll be interesting to see how things go. and that kind of thing, but the sun's out, the rain looks like it's staying away. The two teams are just in the huddle now having their final words. So back to you, TJ and Phil.
Actually, Beck, whilst we just got you, a tip.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go Tea Tree Gully to take the points off Spock on their home deck here. I don't know if that's controversial, but that's where I'm going.
Well, don't mind you being controversial, Beck. Look forward to more of those comments through the afternoon. Thank you.
Hello, what's going on? Commentator Mike.
Well done, Beck.
Right,
one final game very quickly. I don't think it'll take that long. Glenunga 2 and zip, Old Ignatian zip and 2.
4 Wonkies playing together in a game for the first time today.
4 Wonkies.
Mike, Sam, Nick, and the other one, James. They will outscore Old Iggy's by themselves.
So it's almost the Wonkies versus Old Ignatians. You're saying, okay, one thing we have to do is a buddy bet. Now,
I'll give you 75 point start if you want to take Old Ignatians. 75 points.
No, I want to go with the Wonkies versus Old Ignatians for a buddy bet. Now
I'll take the Wonkies.
You take the Wonkies. I'll take Old Iggy's because buddy bet you have to take two sides. Great thing about buddy bet, of course, someone wins. So our first one for the season.
Gamble responsibly, Phil.
I've got no idea how I'm going to keep track of that during the game, but I will do my best.
Quick tips. We haven't done them yet.
You haven't done the tips. I'm going to go with Tea Tree Gully. I reckon 4 goals. Just St. Peter's, they're all using local, which is great. They're bringing their kids up, but St. Peter's win on the experience scale. TJ, a tip, and then you take the first bounce.
I'd say Tea Tree Gully, 1-39, if we're doing it that way. Tea Tree Gully.
Back him on footy punt.
Yep. Fantastic here. All right, Phil, it's exciting. The crowd, a hush silence. Blake Tickets Penny will battle in ruck. I haven't got his opposition ruckman. And it is the St. Peter's ruckman who wins the first tap down into that mud bog in the middle. Ball springs out off the tackle and it comes out wide. St. Peter's leading the race to the ball and they might get the first forward foray here. But good play there, just being wrapped up there, Tea Tree Gully. And it's a good start there. I'll get some of these midfield matchups confirmed for you in just a minute, Phil.
Interesting. Josh Spence in the long sleeves today. Just checking if you've got any Saints lads in the long sleeves that we won't have an issue working out. The clearance will belong to Tea Tree Gully. They're heading to the clubroom ends, although taking the scenic route. That just... no, that's going to be either out on the full, but I reckon it might be a last possession. Will not touched by Williams Cansdale. The Spock at home, about to go forward for the first time today.
And they kick it in the direction of the 4-line, and Blake Tickets Penny just behind. He sat kick behind the play. He's up against Hamish Johnson, new recruit for Spock this year. It's a big matchup. And the umpire's seen something that I haven't seen. He's seen a free kick, and that's going against Alex McKay. So Alex McKay normally extracts a few free, and they bring it right in front of us, Phil. There it is. Leading in the race to the ball is that man. I called him earlier. It is Ed Allen, the vice-captain, former reserves medalist for West Adelaide.
There you can see our little broadcast van next to the scoreboard.
Oh, we're on, are we?
In the pocket.
Yep.
Here comes the throw-in. I'll give that one to Penny. As expected. Tough footy early. This is Ed Colley wearing 31 today at a number change during the week. Bouncing ball. It's going to be a behind on a couple of accounts. One, it was touched. Two, it was on the wrong side of the goalpost. But we have a score.
1-0 ski. It's a close game, Phil. Told you to be a close game. Beautiful long kick out there to the outer side. Let's make it someone else's problem down the line. Big punch and we'll have a ball in 65 metres out from the spot goal, and taking the kicking duties, that man Tyler Martin, number 9, son of Phil, I believe.
Yeah, Spock today. Only 2 of these 21 players don't have prior St. Peter's Old Collegians any role with the club in previous years.
Free kick there for a Shepherd out. I think that'll go to Big Tickets Pennies. Couple of good touches
He's getting in early, isn't he?
And also, mate, interesting to note, our good friend Nick, Safety Harness. They call him Safety down these parts. I call him the Froth Dog, but he's
for different reasons.
Currently coaching Smosh. He's the former. He coached him to a premiership in the reserves as a good contest at half forward there. I'll come back to the Froth Dog. Good tackle, ground level. We'll have a secondary ball up. Will we?
Always a good thing to have on your resume. Premiership coach.
Yes, Division 1 reserves. I think 9 or 10 of those guys.
You don't put Division 1 reserves. You just put Premiership coach.
Yes. Well, it's lured him another job. He's battling a little bit, so hopefully he has a win today against Seaton. But 10 of his players from last year, I think, in today's team. So great that they developed those young players. And the captain of last year's team, Ed Loken, will be playing today in the A grade.
Yeah.
As Alex McKay gets a free kick. I did mention he can extract a free kick. I think that one was well earned, though. And he'll look to put Tea Tree Gully into attack for the first time, for their first meaningful forward thrust.
towards the club room's pocket where the crowd and the barbecue is today. It's been collected by Robinson. St. Peter's have collected him. Umpire will call in for another stoppage. It's cool, it's breezy, it's got a fair bit of blue sky, and I'm going to say no chance of rain, except we had rain during our little introduction.
Couple of dribbles, yep.
Yeah, nothing too dramatic, just a freshener really.
Yep.
Saints ball kicking into that pocket. They found Hamish Johnston,
The big ruckman.
who is one of only 2 players who didn't play for Spock in some way or sometime. He's from the Strathmerton Bulldogs out near Deniliquin.
Big tickets, Penny, beautiful over the top mark. Goes in ball with a 45 kick, opens the whole ground up. So what you're saying is Hamish Johnston's one of the only 2 players that isn't rich out there? Okay. does cost a bit to send it
early.
Okay. Forward fast there from Bodie Latham, but it's a turnover. Well marked in defence by Spock. They push it across. Looks like it's Ed Allen out there. Hard to tell. He's 150 metres away from me. I'll get on the binos, Phil.
Yeah, and just who the other player is, Marcus Roberts, who made his debut early in this season.
From
Former PNU junior. No, TJ would know that. He spent a year at Broadbeach up on the Gold Coast last season.
He sure did. One of 4 Roberts brothers. So no, there was 3. I made one up. So, of course, Rory and Gavin, his brothers, and Adrian, his dad, former president at Paynham. So, but making his home here now as they push forward. Teacher Gully. Ball doesn't quite hit the target. Looking dangerous. I think they are going to a bit of a breeze. Fair enough. Quick kick that's high up and under. Sitting under, it's the Teacher Gully player. Good spoil by PAC. The umpire says, no, you know what, Javora, it wasn't a good spoil. He's got him too high. I'm going to give a free kick to that player. And is that... turn around, please, sir. Phil, help me out. Who we got there?
I thought I saw a 4.
It's an 11.
It's an 11. Okay, Jake Robinson.
Jake Robinson, first time I've called his name today. Yep. In his defence, that forward pocket is a long, long way from this forward pocket.
You can see the scoreboard. It's a lovely scoreboard just right next to it, so we don't get to see it.
Yeah.
Robinson yet to kick a goal this season.
6-minute mark of the first quarter. He'll line up. Looks like he's about 50 metres out in a slight angle. Take his best effort, you'd think. Puts it high. And puts it beautifully straight over the umpire's hat. Perhaps she's a bit closer than 50. That is a tremendous kick from Jake Robertson. That's his first. That's the game's first and Teacher Gully's first. Teacher Gully, 1 straight goal. Leads St. Peter's Old Collegians 1 point.
Went and did a little bit of research on Play HQ about the players' background. Staggered by how many of these players have really long backgrounds with their club. Jake Robinson debuted league level to 2018, 59 games. Every year he's played footy that I could find has been in the black with the red sash. Never moved out of Teacher Gully.
Good sat. Ball up here. Penny taking control. Down to McKay. McKay comes wide to Shoalmakers. Shoalmakers pushes forward. Again, those familiar names of Teacher Gully. They will link up well at ground level now. Just lose and, Phil, do you know what? Do you know what happened then? He got one of those little knee problems as he took possession. He just lowered his positioning. Who was that?
I reckon it's 6. Yep.
So that is Cody Tape. Just created something out of nothing, perhaps, rather than take the tackle, dropped a little, took the tackle. I'm not criticising him. That is football these days. That's what they do. And he's giving himself a very kickable goal from probably, again, it's hard to tell the distance he's out, but I'd suggest it's about 45 metres out from goal.
Tape 2 goals so far this season, both in the first round.
And he's just hooked that one for a minor score. I'll keep an eye on these midfield matchups. They're always very interesting. But at the moment, for Teacher Gully, we've got Blake Penny, Chad Showmakers, Ryan Spittle and Alex McKay running through the middle. And I'll get the St. Peter's matchups as soon as I can, Phil.
No worries, mate. Cody Tate wearing the number 6 Guernsey, of course, won by John Birkin, who passed away late 2017. The Gullies dedicated the 2018 season to JB and went on and won the premiership.
Great story.
In a special moment for the club. Spock have it now. They're trying to transfer it over to the change room side, which they've done. We'll bring it down the boundary, and they're going to pay the mark.
Yeah, front on contact, I think, Phil. I reckon he took the mark, though, as well.
Ty Jaffa. We're going to have to bring in some lines with that. Give it away, Ed Locken.
Ty Jaffa.
Bit of a size mismatch, you'd have to say, Locken. If that's the matchup, Locken on Jaffa today. So he's got the 20. He's got the free. He's got the 25. He's got a man in the pocket, maybe. In fact, that misses everybody. Was looking for Nick Michael, spills out of bounds, throw in. You can see the scoreboard, the Sportal scoreboard. Teacher Gully 1-1-7. St. Peter's just the one behind. It's close, but that's because it's low scoring.
McKay in front. Good play. You can't see that, Phil. It's just been pushed out. Just outside the 50, 55 metres out. Again, McKay at ground level, very, very dangerous.
I'm getting very used to commentating where I can't see.
Ed Locken now into the ruck against Blake Ticketspenny. He's just got to neutralise him here and make sure Teacher Gully don't get first use. They've all paired off at the stoppage, which is pretty good at ground level. Spittle to Showmakers, is it? Yes, it is. Left foot, long ball. Good contest. I'm not sure who's come up with that one there. Great mark there by number 18. That's Will Montgomery. They call him Smiley. Always got a smile on his face, Will Montgomery. Except when he got knocked out last year, which was an unpretty incident.
He's an ex-Glenunga lad.
He is an ex-Glenunga lad. He got knocked out at Glenunga. And I tell you what, a lot of good early touches there by Ryan Spittle. But again, just behind the ball, Spocker well set up, that breeze. And once again, it is that man, Will Montgomery.
So both teams, you'd have to say defences on top. I don't think St. Peter's, well, they got one bouncy snap at goal. Teacher Gully got 2 set shots, one good, one awry. This is inside the Spock forward 50. We're expected to see a lot of it. We probably haven't. Josh Spence takes the mark there. Former Bulldogs under-18s player. A lot of these players have spent time in the junior programs at Sandford clubs.
They sure have. Can we throw down to Beck or not? Is that something we can do?
If Beck is ready to be thrown
Beck
down
ready?
to.
Beck, I'll just as soon as there's a stoppage of play, Beck, I'll throw it. I've got a question for you. As the ball at the ground, Teacher Gully should lead to a quick soccering kick right out towards Beck Northcott. Actually, she's got a great view of it now. As Ty Jaffa just gets the ball, pushes it down the line. Doesn't put it too close to the line with the new rule, though. McKay with a handball. That should be escorted out. It is escorted out by number 27. That is not on my team sheet. Beck, it looks like the ball's got a lot more carry to the left of screen down towards the scoreboard end. Is there much of a breeze? Because there's none inside the caravan.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit breezy out here. You can see some of those autumn leaves just trickling across here, you know, very, very St. Peter's areas. But yeah, getting a little bit breezy out here for sure. You guys wouldn't be feeling that in the luxury of your van.
No, it's Spocker, the quick kick around the corner. It's a good one. It's a beauty. They are on the board. It's Nick Michaels. The mail on him from my spies is he's a goal sneak. Watch him around goals. Kicked 6 against Glenunga last year when I was coaching. I don't like him. but I'll tell you what, when there's 2 big white sticks, he knows how to find them. Well done, Nick Michaels.
Well, he kicked, if it's any consolation, TJ, he kicked 49 goals. That's his... not his first at A-grade level, it's his third at A-grade level from just 6 games. He's a junior that spent a little bit of time at Walkerville, as we look at the filming footy replay. A little bit of time at Walkerville and Smosh. Here's a stat for you. Of the 21, it is 21 we have here, 10 of the 21 in St. Peter's are Walkerville juniors.
Yeah, very interesting.
7 of the 21 are Unley, 2 of them are both.
Fantastic. Good stat there as they get the centre clearance here. This one is through James Higgins. Higgins goes long, wide and handsome. Leading the race to the ball is Gussie Hazeman. Of course, Hugh Hazeman on Crow's duties today. Crow's Sandford. Well, just overrunning the ball there was Lewis Green. Ball at ground level. Oh, beautifully extracted by Allen. Used his strength there, but will be cleaned up nicely by Josh Spence. Gets the long ball down. But again, it is that man, Will Montgomery, who started the game really well across half-back. Repelled a lot of attacks.
I don't know if you call him Smile. I'm going to call him Will the Rock Montgomery, because that's
if
sort
you
of
smell
what
he's
been.
cooking.
Yeah.
And he has kicked
and at
it
the other
straight
end,
back.
it's been the man in the long sleeves. It's
Josh Spence.
almost like they're playing kick to kick. So we have gone 12 minutes. It is 7-7.
It's a close game, Phil.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.
I'm enjoying it a lot. I mean, I've enjoyed it the last 2 weeks, but
I mean, it means we're going to have to maybe come up with 2 sets of prizes if it comes up at this rate, but we'll work it out.
the other thing is the ground looks a picture, Phil. It looks beautiful on TV. It is soggy underfoot. I will say that.
Spongy is
It
the
is
way I
spongy,
describe it.
yes.
Here comes Teacher Gully. Jake Robinson will send him inside 50 into what I call the classroom pocket here at the college. Battling by the boundary. There is a boundary line. There's Personos. He is absolutely drilled. Glad it is spongy.
Yeah, he'd be happy
for
with that,
him.
wouldn't he? Yes. Interesting, not that pocket there. Your classroom pocket, of course, the direct opposite of where we're sitting in the Tommy Jabor pocket.
Is there a TJ
Yes,
pocket?
there is. This one right here, mate. I've snagged a couple from this pocket here. Don't mind this one.
Glory be.
Yeah. When I say a couple, in my career, 2.
Well, it's 2 more than me.
I did have one of my greatest games ever for Walkerville one day when they ended up being 1 man short, and I was the lucky one that was 1 man short.
So I'm intrigued by the St. Peter's Walkerville connection. I'm wondering if it's a border thing that Walkerville being a close club to here, they might go and play some school footy or some
Yeah,
club
so what
footy.
happens is Walkerville as well traditionally haven't had 18s and 17.5s. We've just fixed at Walkerville, obviously one of my clubs in my zone.
Yep.
So that there's a bit of a change in pace there, but yeah, traditionally after 15s they'd come back to Spock and play. They play their school footy,
Yep.
and then they play old scholars.
Gotcha.
So that's why so many Walkerville
Yeah.
juniors.
And if Walkerville is saying, what are we doing in, what are they, Div 4?
Yep.
Why aren't we in Div 1? Well, because
Yeah, here
some
they
of your
are.
great juniors are in Div 1.
Well, we get back to the players. Josh Flynn here, apparently a crypto fanatic and beautiful fly. And again, Will Montgomery, you're going to say he's probably best man on the ground early, isn't he? And he's finding a target that time. Nice switch kick. Should open up the field to play a little bit, but Teacher Gully pushing across. That familiar press we see. We talk about patterns of play that we can analyse with our dartfish footage, Phil. And they'll come back the other way. Nice kick. Can't see who that is. Chain of marks there. That might have been a half volley, and they'll come down the line. New name to call here. That's Benny Belperio. Belperio will hit up, look for, just offers a bit too much air there, makes it a little bit of a problem for Nick Michaels, and coming over the top was the Teacher Gully player affecting the spoil.
Yep. And in that area of the field, you've got about probably 85% of the crowd, either on the sidelines or in the grandstand or by the club rooms or behind the goals. Here comes St. Peter's from the clearance. Ed Allen has a lead, has a mark. This is Brett Russell.
That's interesting because the man on the mark is Josh Flynn. He's the one that made the spoil on the boundaries. That is not his man having the shot for goal. Someone has been very, very, let's say, tardy in their defence, or they're pairing off, and they've just left him out in the open.
Brett Russell, one of the best last week in a losing effort at Brighton. Kicked 3 goals, has 4 for the season. Formerly from Flinders Park, touched
Brilliant.
right on the line by Tyler Martin. But it gives Saints the lead. They are 1-2-8. Teacher Gully 1-1-7. That's the Sportsal scoreboard. 15 gone.
That's one of those connection pieces, mate. His mind's in the game. He didn't want that through at any circumstance. He made sure he got a ball on it. Good sharp pace here from Spock. He looks in ball with a little lefty. Oh, nice cut-off play there by Verrill. And Teacher Gully might be able to clear. Ball at ground level. Quick soccer. Make it someone else's problem. Now, again, good smother there by William Canstell as the ball's cleared all the way down. All of a sudden, it finds in the hands of Personos. Pistol Pete Personos. Good on the lip. Good on the go. Looks for and finds his teammate down there in the forward line deep. That looks like it is Showermakers. It's Spittle, sorry. Spittle, but turns it over. Spock to repel. Phil Hurden.
Yeah, inside 50s, you'd have to say Teacher Gully have probably had more. They got another one here through Robinson. Kick around the body towards the top of the square. I don't see any black and red. All I see is blue. And the Blue Boys of St. Peter's Odd Collegians are going to run it off the back pocket. A bit of a stop, a bit of a prop, a kick inbound, which gives a chance for Napa to get in and create some confusion. Brody Latham is there for Teacher Gully. Spills to Jaffa. Jaffa rolls it into the pocket. I'm just going to have to work on that. Alex McKay is just going to keep it bounding towards the boundary line in front of the most interesting licensed area in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1. The plastic deck chairs roped off. Yes, you can have a beer there if you want, boys.
We can't, but they can.
They can.
Yes. The ball is I'm on the line. Penny doesn't actually win the ruck there. It was well won down by Sam Potter and allows a high kick, make it someone else's problem. Standing under the ball for Teacher Gully was Cansdell. Ball comes back. Tyler Martin high up and under to the pocket. Deep. Penny just taps it over. Somehow found the ball. Bobbles around there. It's a long, long way from us, Phil.
It is. Hope you brought this. What's your binoculars doing today, TJ?
Oh,
so close you can.
Oh, they're so powerful. I can see the mistakes being made before they're made. Ball up here. Penny versus Potter. Penny, Potter, pound. And, good tackle there. Well done there, number 59 for St. Peter's. That is Charlie Allen, brother of Ed.
Yeah, look, St. Peter's would feel a little bit under siege, but they're holding on pretty well. In fact, they have the lead. More than holding on, they have the 1 point lead in a low-scoring affair. Big thump from behind. Hot footy to get in the middle of the field. It's going to be a free kick. That is Ed Allen, who's had a couple of key touches today. He's going to have one more right there. Key releasing hand pass to Johnny Reid. Reid now through Ed Colley. St. Peter's are coming right down the guts. Here's your long kick. It's there.
I was just about to say, Johnny Vrodas, the Greek Adonis, haven't called his name yet. Well, not only am I going to call his name, I'm going to say ring-a-ding-ding. That is a very nice thing. That's probably goal of the day at this point.
Yeah.
Johnny Rodis giving St. Peter's a very handy 7-point lead.
There's a few Spock players that have debuted, gone elsewhere, and now they're back. Rodis is one of those. Here's a journey for you. He's only played 12 games for St. Peter's that I could find. He went and played for the Uni Blacks for multiple seasons. Not our Uni Blacks, but the Uni Blacks in Melbourne. And just for a change of pace, he's played for Rovers in Alice Springs. That was last year. And last summer, the Buffaloes of Darwin in the Northern Territory comp.
A journeyman, if you like. And coming out of the middle, it is Asprey getting the ball down forward. Teacher Gully take possession. Errant Hamble is mopped up beautifully by Benny Belpero. He takes the tackle and says we'll have a ball up. Just getting back on those midfield matchups, mate. We've got Ed Allen floating through there. James Duncan, Hamish Johnson in the ruck for St. Peter's. As our friend doing laps the oval is up to lap number 15.
And we've got our first scoreboard mismatch. We say Spock of 14. The scoreboard says 13. I'm going to back Hugo, our producer, because I've got 14 as well. We'll sort that out at quarter time.
And Blake Penny, he has been very, very good early on. That's it's got to be his 4th mark now, Phil, I think.
At least.
Yeah, as he just chips the ball to the wing. Ambition and capabilities. Doesn't get the ball. Doesn't try too much. Show on makers. He's a beautiful user of the ball. That left foot kick is no exception. Looks for and finds Tape. Tape goes towards the pocket with an errant kick. Looks for Persnos, which I understand. Takes the high tackle. Bounces off. Oh, and you must keep your feet, young fella. Must keep your feet. He does chase hard, but that allows an extraction to Benny McGill for Spocky.
McGill. First time I think we've called him today. Noted what I call the Luke Ivans look. I used to love calling Luke Ivans in the Sandful for North Adelaide wearing the helmet.
Yep.
Never missed a possession.
Yes.
Luke Ivans had.
Ed Colley, he's been a bit of a live wire, certainly providing a bit nice inboard 45 kick. If you make it, it's great. If you don't, it's not so good.
There's McGill again. Saw that helmet in the middle of all that. Here come the Saints. I like the fact they're coming right down the guts, but maybe look up before you kick the ball because there wasn't a blue shirt in sight.
No, great. Here he comes. There is a blue shirt right there. Nice release handball there, but did miss the target there, Zachy McKay. That allowed the smother in, and a beautiful smother it was by Gussie Hazeman.
Yeah, gets the close-up camera shot. Some high fives, low tens.
Yeah, it's a team lifting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, one of those 1%ers that doesn't appear much on the stat sheet, but does make a difference. Gully's trying to escape. There's a nice tackle. Look, in AFL, that might have been holding the ball because they're lightning on that. Adelaide Footy League, I don't mind it. A little bit more leniency to the player with the ball. You've got to reward him somehow.
How about that left-handed back flick there? That is absolutely brilliant to Zach McKay, the wingman. Good understanding there from two guys that have played together for nearly 10 years. And again, good tackle on the forward line. Good pressure, and the umpire says, holding the ball, no, you can't play on. But it is your ball, Ryan Spittle. Interesting to note as well, and again, they go to that pocket. I'm just not sure about it. Persnos constantly leading that pocket. There's got to be a better leading pattern than that because Spock are awake to it, and they'll come out again through the middle. It's an errant kick there. They've been able to set up forward attacks, Spock, from defence when they've made a mistake in that pocket. Anyway, ball bobbing around, Spock with it. Chain of handballs. Again, umpire finds something down there, Phil.
Yeah, and look, it might just be our angle where we are. Correct me wrong, TJ, but I always look at how teams go forward, and when they're having a shot, is it a high percentage shot, low percentage shot? Teacher Gully going into the pockets a lot. If they do get a shot, it's going to be low percentage. A few times I've seen Saints come down. I like the way they're moving right down the guts.
Yep. And whilst we just ignore the play for it, it's Zach McKay coming out. Again, that same pocket, but this time there's someone unmanned.
At least you're going to that pocket coming down that wing.
Yes, you can understand that. This is Liam McDonald.
Now, Liam McDonald is a mystery man.
Okay.
Okay. He's made his debut. He does not exist beyond last week or round one on Play HQ.
Well, if he kicks this one from the pocket, he's going to announce himself. This is not the easiest pocket to have a shot from, though, I don't think. Although you'd suggest the Spock boys would practice with me a lot. And he has made the umpire do a lot of work early. He snuck it in for a point. It's one goal the difference in the favour of Teacher Gully. Look, Phil, just getting back to your patterns of play, which we're always interested in. We saw it last week with Goodwood. All the shots were from, rubbish, tough areas, you'd say. And then all of a sudden, the good shots were coming from PAC from, 30 out, 35 out, inside that arc, and they just weren't missing. And the game just got away from them very quickly.
Yeah, Goodwood Saints had a love affair with what I call the Melbourne Street pocket at Park 9, and Yeah, it was just kind of weird. They kept on going there and couldn't work out why at three-quarter time they didn't have a goal. That was Spence kick in. Again, Spock with some numbers. I might get you to see, next time they set up neutrally, TJ, whether there was actually a loose player in defence, because it feels like it.
Well, there is for Teacher Gully, certainly right now. It's
So
number
there would
24.
be for Spock somewhere.
It's Joshua Flynn, yeah, there.
McGill goes 1-2. Beautiful smother off the boot by the Gullies. That was Zach McKay, who's been noted in dispatches. Here's Alex McKay, who's going to get thumped in the back.
Yep.
Plays on pretty quickly. Ooh, that tackle's an interesting one.
Yeah,
sort of tackled, then pushed him down.
Looked like he felt there was some momentum coming, and
yeah,
that's what it
those
looked like
knees suddenly start getting wobbly, don't they?
Well, it's 3 motions, and it's not all the tackler that was creating them as the ball comes. Beautiful, clean hands there. That's good play by Fay. Paddy Fay, party boy, Pat Fay, they call him. As good off the field as easy on. And at ground level there, Spock, just fumbly. that's something you can't.
Okay, so how many defamation suits have we got coming?
There's nothing wrong with
You're
enjoying
a party
celebration.
boy? Okay.
Don't mind a party myself back in the day. All right, number 25, that is Cudmore. He's been okay. He don't always call all of his stuff, but he has been working hard with run. Give a guy a rap and he kicks it straight to the guy in the red and the black.
Every single time.
Yeah. I don't mind his work ethic, though. And work rate is what it is all about.
Not far from the end of this quarter, 24.5, just the 3 goals kicked. You won't think a lot of time on.
And the question remains, are Spock kicking to what we think might be the scoring end?
Yeah, I reckon it's just a slight advantage.
Yeah. They'll know
if
that.
any.
Oh, good chase down from behind there. Very good play. Just stayed in the contest. Probably didn't actually hit the tackle, but just did enough there, did Brody Latham. Orange boots. Thank you, Brody.
Latham, another player, 267 games.
Played all
of them
Yep.
for teacher. And they're not at league level. I'm talking under
played all 18 in the seniors last year, though, in the A. So put together a good body of work there. So certainly
39 goals as well, which could be handy.
Yep.
Up forward, it looks like goals are going to be at a bit of a premium this afternoon.
Kicked 39 goals last year for the A grade. You sure?
Let me have a look. Brody Latham, Teacher Gully, 18 games, 39 goals.
That's a fantastic season for a small
He's
forward.
played 74 games at A grade level for 120 goals.
Yep. So consistent performer. Great stats there. Thanks, Two-Man. As Spock comes down the wing, it's all tickets, Penny. And that's something he does very well. He stands under the ball, no fear. And I'll tell you what.
Love a ruckman who does great work.
It's a free kick, is it?
What did he do?
Oh, you wouldn't be very happy with that after copping one behind the head as well. And there's a siren. Oh, don't play on. He has played on.
Play on.
Oh, we're going to have shades of Malcolm Blight there, I thought.
I have a feeling that the umpire wasn't going to allow that mark anyway. He had the hands up, I think, as he was playing on. So that is quarter time. Well, we got our close one, TJ. It is St. Peter's 2-2-14 with goals to Michaels and Vorodos. And it is Teacher Gully 1-2-8 goal to Robinson.
I'm going to challenge you on that. I think it's Rodos.
Okay, I'll
the
Greek Adonis. I'll defer to you. We'll discuss that.
We'll just call him the Adonis because he might not be Greek.
After the break, we'll go to Beck for the huddles. We'll have plenty of discussion on that, have no doubt. You're with Phil Head and Tommy Javor. This is the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Filming Footy.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back. Quarter time break. You can see the St Peter's huddle. Let's go down to the huddles and our banjo rider, Beck Northcott.
G'day, Phil. I just went down to both the huddles. So St Peter, very quick to come in, very player-driven voice. They just, really want to work on their midfield being more on the move and make that decision. Are you going for the ball or the man? So really sorting out that midfield there. In terms of Caterer Gully, they're just trying to keep it simple here and get that ball to ground because they know that they're winning that ball when it does get to ground. They're doing really well in the contest. So early days here, clear messaging from both teams, and we'll see how this second quarter turns out. Back to you, boys.
Thank you very much, Beck. Live from the huddles, one of the great features of our broadcast. We do thank our sponsors, particularly the Banner Crew, our stream sponsor, Roll the Dice Racing with our Player of the Year. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. Sportal Scoreboard, which has Spock up by a goal. And, of course, today's buddy bet. Well, I reckon Old Ignatians might be doing all right at the moment. We'll talk about that very shortly.
What's
TJ's 30 seconds. Your thoughts on the first quarter?
Yeah, fairly even first quarter. Spock using the corridor a little bit more. Again, I think it's just I can see the leaves blowing across. I think they'll go in the scoring end. Time will tell. Better players, Caterer Gully, Blake Penny, Chad Showmaker, Zach McKay. For Spock, Will Montgomery was everywhere in defence. Ed Allen, the best midfielder.
All right, some scores around the Adelaide Footy League Division 1. These are late in the first quarter, not quarter time just yet. Broadview leads Prince Alfred by 3, 10-7. Goodwood Saints lead Brighton Bombers by 2, 15-13. Port District trail Sacred Heart 19-7. That's the blowout game. 2 goals, the biggest margin. Glenunga and Old Ignatians. Glenunga 20, Old Ignatians 19. No report on what the Wonkies have contributed to that 20 just yet. Wow,
and it looks like going with the exact same midfield as Caterer Gully. It's in Ruck Penny, in there Showermakers, Spittle, McKay, whilst for Spock it is Johnny Vrodas, the Adonis, James Duncan, Hamish Johnson and Ed Allen. So that's our matchups.
You can see that. The interchange benches, well, it's almost have to call them the interchange chairs today. And to get us underway, you're with Tommy Javor.
Tickets, Penny versus Hamish the Hammer Johnson. They come off almost check side against each other. And it's Penny. Brings it backwards, backhanded, but well read by Spock. It's that man, number 28, Rodos, the Adonis, down to that pocket, but to a lead-up footballer. That's the difference. He didn't lead across, he led up, leading patterns or everything. And you've got to know, Phil, this is where they practice from at Spock. You come out of the change room, this is where you have a dob.
Brett Russell's had a sighter. Debut for 2021. Mentioned he was ex-Victor Flinders Park. Didn't mention his footy journeys included Victor Harbour, Millicent, and the Mozzies of Mount Burr.
Yep. Did he play one season at Millicent?
A couple juniors.
And so high up and under. It's going to float across the face of goal. They should spoil it through if they've got the discipline, and they do rush it through. And the liquor just starts to kick in on the St. Peter's crowds in the chair, offering some advice there. So umpire strikes back and nothing going there.
As long as they don't get into it and start picking up the chairs and throwing them around.
Right. Good. Well done there. Ed Allen worked his way to the right spot there. Wasn't sure what he was doing, but he knows what he's doing, obviously. So ball bounces around now. Another free kick. There's been a few free kicks just early in the second here, and it'll be in the favour of Spock, and they'll line up. It looks like about 50 metres out. As Phil gets onto the binos, he's going to tell us who it is. It is
Nick Michaels.
Probably just
already
outside
a goal
his
to
distance.
his name.
Yeah, I think this, and the tall timber on the line for Caterer Gully. He'll take his best kick, that's for sure. Deliberate approach. Puts it up high. Actually gives it a nice connection, but as I suggested, lands right near the line. just that little bit of breeze, Phil. I'm sticking with it.
Yep.
You know how I know the beautiful maple leaves that Beck's described of the eastern suburbs? It's just
Ooh.
rolling down the aisle.
I think maple leaves, I think Toronto and ice hockey or some syrup with pancakes.
I'm not even sure if it is a maple leaf, mate, but those big leaves,
Yeah.
as they run out of the square and they go long, and look at that clearance deep to the wing. Make it someone else's problem. It comes out on the wing, and that's certainly good.
Just something I wanted to mention while we had a quick break. I didn't mention the team changes from previous week. St. Peter's had 4 changes. Coming in, Sam Porter, Will Montgomery. We've seen a lot of Johnny Reid, Louis Green. Out, Lockie de Cesare, Hamish Allen, Hugh Hazeman, Crows duties as mentioned. Henry Stewart Rattray. Was looking forward to saying that all week. Teacher Gully, 3 changes. Coming in, Josh Flynn, Ty Jaffa, Aidan Tuckwell on debut. Out, Damon Pitt, Tyson Breeden, Jordan Personos.
Yeah, de Cesare had bad loss. Speaking to my spies today, they said he'd be handy as a good mark.
So
to
they've
take him
gone
down
from
back.
sources to spies. Or are we talking different people?
Yeah, they're all, I don't know what they are. Yeah, we'll go with sources. But a young Rattray, Stuart Rattray, I think it is, that's a hyphenated surname, with college starting. He's actually a first 18 player. He got best for him last week as a 17 or 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Personos gets it, he goes. Those sharp little left foot's good on the lip, quick on the burst. Puts it, makes it, probably kicks it to the advantage just slightly of Ashley Tucker, but well worked again. Marcus Roberts, the boy from the Falcon Footy Factory, kicks long, but not real well inboard. They should bring it back in through Canstrell, but chopped off beautifully by the man in the pineapple, number 9, Benny McGill.
McGill, who played a mixture, 9 games league, 9 games reserve last year, as did most of these players. All of them pretty much had a taste of league, but also spent a fair bit of time in reserves. And to be honest with Spock last year, that was the place to be as they rampaged through the final series and collected a, B-grade premiership against Old Ignatians. Teacher Gully on the counter. Ryan Spittle, long, penetrating kick. Up goes Brodie Latham, and it's going to be Latham's free.
Yeah, free kick for contact face, not facing the ball there. And interesting to note the Spock B-grade coach, not just Nick Safety Harness getting a full-time job at A-grade coaching at Spock, but Peter Diamondopoulos, his assistant, now coach of Kenilworth, the second longest club in the history of. There you go.
The Kookaburras?
Yeah, Kookaburras down at St Mary's. Latham will line up from about 35 metres out, I think. Maybe 45 metres because he hasn't made the distance, I don't think. Or a very slight touch of the ball there.
I was going to say we're going to get a good idea of this breeze with that kick, but I reckon he sort of got under it a bit.
Yeah, he didn't time it all that well. It was straight. Perhaps that's not his strength.
So another behind to Latham.
Marcus Roberts right in front of us. He'll take the ball here. Always with a good tan, the Roberts boys. And perhaps a little bit more awareness, less tanning time for young Marcus. He's a very good footballer. Highly ranked Nord junior.
The pistol still has some pace.
Pistol P looks 2-on-1 back here. And they do. He just drops the chesty there. That was Latham again. Gives the handball. That's a high up and under kick. And the old volleyball spike there. Now, I've got a great stat as well.
We're having a stat off today, aren't we?
Yes, I've got a final stat. You watch the game.
I'll call the footy. You can watch the stats. It's going to be, it is on the Sportal scoreboard. Spock 2-5, Tea Tree Gully 1. No, I don't reckon that's right. Sorry, Hugo. I might have to correct you on this one. But anyway, I reckon Tea Tree Gully are 1-4-10 and Spock are maybe 2-3-15. But yeah, 1-4. Now the blue scoreboard agrees with me.
Beautifully done. Interesting stat here. Sam Potter, one of the ins today, number 1. He'd be playing second ruck. Is a state water polo player, and he only plays water polo to get out of pre-season. Thank you.
Have you ever? I don't. Water polo's a rough. Have you ever watched a live water polo game?
I'm being facetious.
You work hard playing water polo.
In summer, I'd rather be in the pool than running laps. So we're going to have a ball up.
In
45
summer,
metres out.
Okay.
Tea Tree Gully goal. All right. The big fellas lock horns there. Tea Tree Gully obviously with their second ruck. Blake Tickets Penny having a break at the moment. Their second ruck in there is Liam McDonald, the mystery man, as you call him, as the ball pushes down forward. They've got the run of it here, Spock, but it's bobbing around, and Tea Tree Gully should clean it up. They'll come through the middle now. This is what Spock did pretty well in the second. They just go long. No, it's a missed kick. It's kicked it like a...
Penny to Personals.
Penny to Personals on the left. He won't die wondering. Again, awkward kick. Good challenge there behind from from Brodie Latham. Pressure forward. He does put a lot of pressure on. Oh, Johnny Vroda. No, sorry, that was Ed Allen made it someone else's problem. Then got it back. Kicks a tumbling punt down the line. Doesn't make it easy for anyone.
We're certainly seeing a lot more footy down this end this quarter, but I just don't think Teacher Gully have worked out a forward process yet.
No.
As Higgins goes forward, Teacher Gully repel. Let's see how they're going to maybe try the outer side.
Zach McKay, he often a good. Oh, I was going to say a good exeter of the ball, but that wasn't his best effort. But they do get it back. Just slightly missing targets, and now a rush kick. Persnos might get on the end of it. He's on his left this time. He has a little ping-a-ling-a-ling, and have a look at that. Right in front of the coach's box. He says, I understand you give away a mouthguard for goal of the day, or have a look at these apples. Persnos on the left, 5 metres inside the boundary, shows us what he used to do at Nord back in the day. And on the lip, he'll have plenty to say about that one to his opponent.
The Neomorph mouthguards for the play of the day. That will be right up there at the moment. Persnos, well, he's kicked 157 goals for the Gullies to add to his 53 for the Redlegs. And you can see why he's got a pretty good goal tally.
Yeah, as we're going to look at the replay here, just takes control of the ball, just see the boundary, brings it back. Interesting as well, Phil, he had a sider a couple of minutes before that he didn't hit right. Don't give him 2 chances, he'll cut you to pieces. What a star, Pete Persnos. Yeah. As the ball at ground level, working really hard at ground level, was the water polo specialist. It goes to Showermakers. Showermakers down to half forward, but leading in the ball is Marcus Roberts, and he has kicked that high, wide and handsome. That'll be a last touch kick to Teacher Gully. Teacher Gully now, probably about 75 metres out from their goal. Again, couple of players behind. Sam Potter just dropped in. He's dropped in the hole nicely there. And they kick it straight to him. But Tickets Penny gets there to make a contest and gets there in time. And beautiful timing. Beautiful mark. And Blake Tickets Penny, the captain. Cometh the moment. Cometh the captain. Will take a shot 45 metres out and about a 45-degree angle.
Usually I'm not show that much faith in Ruckman, but I'm going to make an exception for Blake Penny. We'll get a really good idea of the breeze with this kick. 2 goals for the season thus far.
Just puts it up, really. Puts it up to the top of the square. Might have been... Oh! A fly that achieves absolutely nothing but look good from Ryan Spittle. And again, it's what's happened this week is their smalls didn't get a goal between them last week, but you can see they're just looking a bit dangerous, these Tea Tree Gully smalls. Not his best effort there, Latham, and allows Spock to clear.
They'll do it down the outer wing, although you can see they're trying to centre the ball, trying to use the corridor. Sits at the moment with Ed Colley. Colley goes to the outer side, where there's there's a couple, isn't there? There's one solo marquee with 4 people under it, and one bloke with an umbrella just off by his lonesome, no one within 20 metres. It's some people like to sit by themselves watching the footy. Ed Allen kicks it in the direction of said gentleman with the umbrella.
It's not raining though, Phil.
Maybe it's a sun thing. Maybe it is raining out there. I don't know.
Maybe it's brighter in that spot. Maybe he's just a different cat. As anyway, let's follow the play. Ed Allen, he's been everywhere. Handball spills out. Quick kick there. Number 25, that's Harry Cudmore. High up and under. Tough one to mark that one. Ball at ground level. Spock just starting to break even at ground level now, I think. Tackled. And again, what we have got, Phil, is a good contest today.
Yeah, okay. I'm just a bit befuddled by the scoreboard.
Which keeps changing on us.
It does. But anyway, we're early days. So thankfully, it's not the final quarter. Then I'd be really stressed.
It is Teacher Gully by a point now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll work it out at half time. But it is Teacher Gully in front. Of that, I'm pretty sure they've kicked more behinds than Saints. It's just a case of who's kicked how many. Low scoring affair on a day that you'd think would allow for some high scoring footy.
Well, the B grade game was 9 goals to 6, so perhaps it's a bit. I mean, and the ball drops have been look like they've been. Well, it's not that windy, is it, Phil? I don't know.
No, not from where we are anyway. Beck Northcott on the boundary, having to deal with the conditions, might disagree with us. But it's Spock, pretty much with everybody forward of the ball. Long kick inside 50. Big pack. Look at them all. God, there's about 12. There's 15 around the ball. Teacher Gully, you can see the way that they clear it
Oh,
good.
Holy
Oh
moly!
my goodness, that was a fly by Latham.
He's come
Kick
down with a
around
blood
the body.
nose. And Personos on the right foot has a quick snap.
golly.
He got so much. Michael Jordan can't jump that high. That was ridiculous.
You can't give a player of the day for the jump of the day.
Didn't die wondering, did he?
No, he didn't. Another behind. That's what we're raking up here.
Definitely more carry towards the left of screen or the scoreboard end, mate. You can see that just from the kick out, just going just outside the 50 there. So, umpire comes in. Tap one by St. Peter's, but well sharked there by Showermakers. They get it backwards release. Personos all on his own. Too much space. A lot of people arms up, blaming each other. A couple of St. Peter's guys just confirming it's Gus Hazeman and his mate there, Charlie Allen. They're saying, who's on him? Well, I'll tell you who's on him. No one.
Not now.
No. Personos from the pocket. He's going to kick from... We've got a really good shot of this one, haven't we, Phil?
We have.
He's going to kick for about 35, I reckon. Maybe 30. He's on a left, but with the breeze blowing towards him, he's just going to put it on the right post and it'll just drop in nicely. Puts it on the right post, hangs it out too far. Breeze does down, bring it back, but not
Would you not
enough.
have hung it on the left post and let it swing across?
Depends which way you're facing. The far post. I should have said the far post. Did I say the...
But if the wind's blowing towards the far post.
No, the wind looks like it was coming this way a little bit towards us. I'm using hand signals that no one can see.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks good in the booth, but...
Actually, don't question my coaching, Phil, just in case anyone missed it. Under 14s last night,
Oh,
North Adelaide.
I know.
37-point win over the Sturt, the Double Blues. Yep, well done to the North boys with their first win ever. But back to the players, tickets, penny, a scorched over line. And then they give us time to talk about that a little bit more, Phil. The boys didn't win a game last year. You should have seen them. My 5-year-old daughter led the song. It's a great, great club. It was a special night for all those boys to have their first win in a league club. But back to the action here. And umpire, they've found a few frees today in what I've considered a very clean game. And it's that man, the water polo specialist, Sammy Potter.
Just to elaborate on your point a tiny bit as it sits with Sam Potter, those moments mean a lot, and especially at Adelaide Footy League level with the Sandford Juniors. And you have those great moments in a certain club colours and you just stick around. And we're seeing two clubs that St. Peter's with their reserves team, a lot of them stepping up a level, and Teacher Gully with their incredible junior program. What do you say, there were no points today? 0
points, and Spock did lose 20 players last year. I shouldn't talk about money, but regular A-graders, we'll call them. A lot of regular A-graders. So, but through that comes opportunity, and some boys here taking the opportunity.
Only two players, James Duncan and Johnny Reid, who played all A-grade all season, are here today.
Yep, fantastic. And I can name some: Jake Sutcliffe, obviously Hazeman, Shooter, 2012 Premiership captain. So
Penny, a pretty easy ruck tap, only as far as Louis Green.
And it's a dogfight, isn't it? It's what we wanted. It was what I wanted today, Phil. I wanted a close, tight, hard game. I've seen a great goal. I've seen the biggest fly I've seen since... I haven't seen anyone get that high since Snoop Dogg at the Emmys. And the ball gets pushed forward. It's that. Oh, McKay gets bumped. Ball at ground level now. Did you like that one, Phil?
I did. St. Peter's would... Look, they would have felt under siege in the first quarter. They'd really feel under siege now. Probably what they don't have is a target. They have the ground players.
Charlie Allen.
Latham, Personos, etc. I'm just wondering if that combines best when you've got a target to kick to provide the contest for them to crumb. But that's just my footy theory. It's on the wing at the moment. Belperio with the pick-up. Went left, decided to go right. Puts it into the clubhouse area, about 50 metres out. But again, the mop-up brigade. Tyler Martin on this occasion goes back to create some space. Putting a hand in there. By the boundary was Louis Green, who's one of the 4 ins for Spock this afternoon. It's a throw. We've gone 16 minutes of the second quarter, and we've got a 3-point Teacher Gully lead.
It all started with Cudmore. They're kicking to space rather than the man. Set up a good forward thrust there for Spock. But this time, looks like McKay at ground level. Looks for his good mate, Showermakers. Spittle, pardon me. Back to McKay. McKay, interesting looking kick. And St. Peter's will have scored it over the line. The old compulsory fumble. And what is the umpire rushing towards him to say? Did he touch it before it went over the line? Yes, he did. If he didn't, it was his free kick anyway. So he was about 7 metres.
He'd be the first to grab it and say I'm off.
Yeah.
Right in front of us here, your broadcast van, your broadcast team, thanks to Filming Footy, Phil Hurd and Tommy Javor. Give that as a big thump to Sam Potter, who's in ruck today, one of the 4-ins, who played 2 games in the C's last year, 19 in the Rezzies. His league debut for this season, he did play 8 games in 2021. But nowhere near the experience that Penny has in ruck.
Now, that is a really good decision by the umpire. That's holding the ball. He lost his footing, so he led in with his head, and he did get caught high, but he led with his head.
Yeah.
So Ed Allen hit the tackle, wasn't a rough tackle, and gets the free kick for holding the ball. Tries to bite off a big one, a beautiful kick. Oh, he's off and he's got nowhere to go. Look where you're going and indicate, my friend. This way, that way. It's Benny Belperio. And Benny Belperio kicks it right into the coach's box, pretty much.
No mean feat, because that's whatever breeze we've got. You can see the leaves fluttering away there. He kicked right into the teeth of that for mine. Kick inside 50. Great stretch. Ryan Spittle.
Makes up for it.
Possibly one of the best marks we've seen today.
Again, Phil, I talked about it. Maybe it is breezier or inconsistent breeze that's affecting ball drop. Because the ball drop on some of these players at the moment is not Division 1 A grade level. I mean, I couldn't do any better. But
5 goals. I think they were all against Old Ignatians in round 1. Teacher Gully didn't kick a lot of goals in totality last week against the rampaging Rams of Glenunga. Spittle's kick.
Yep.
And it's another behind.
Don't want to harp on it, Phil, but he dropped the ball drop again, caused him to bring it towards him, yes, and was held goalless last week against Glenunga.
He kicked it to the near side.
Yes, exactly right. Beautiful flying. Good mark there. Great mark. That was Tyler Martin. He's been pretty good, Tyler Martin, down back and just pushing up there as they're pressing up. You can see every player just about inside the 50.
I'm just going to quickly check with Beck Northcott. Beck, do we have some rain happening?
Here, much like the wind, it's coming very much in and out, but there are some droplets at the moment.
Thanks for that, Beck, as the kick across misses. So I've got Teacher Gully at 2 goals 8 at the moment.
But you can see the rain on our screens now, looking quite clear. It's just picking up a little bit. Yeah. How's that rain treating you now, Beck?
A bit harder now. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
You seem a lot closer.
Just gonna come under the veranda here a bit more. I can see James running over here as well. So yeah, the rain very much coming in. Who was saying there was no rain?
Yeah, that was you. James Mooney comes flying back in, as we're going to have a lot of stoppages now, a lot of tackling, and the umpire has said, "I'll have it," didn't he?
Well, this is the heaviest it's been all day.
I reckon this could be a game, Phil, where 8 goals might win it.
Yeah. What's that, 8 goals? Yeah, 60 points. I reckon you might be right.
Well, 8's 48, but 8 goals 12.
We've already had a high behind count, so.
Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy here between Louis Green and his opponent. And Louis Green listed as mad as a cut snake by my sources. Not a man you want to have a no, umpire. The umpire's seen something there that no one else on the ground has seen. A bit of body work for the St. Peter's player. Even Liam McDonald looked surprised at that one, but he said, I'll take it. I'll have a shot. 20 metres out on a reasonably acute angle. But with the Tommy Javor pocket, all you've got to do here is put it through the big sticks.
Yeah, debuted for the Gullies last week.
Ball drop.
That's a bad miss. I'm not a player of any calibre whatsoever. That's a bad miss. And at the moment, if I'm being brutally honest, TJ, Teacher Gully could be 4 goals up.
Yeah, they're kicking themselves out of the game potentially, or certainly leaving the door open. But that's just basic fundamentals. That stuff as a under-14 coach, you try and teach and get right, and they generally get it right. So, and the rain is coming down now as he takes the advantage. Good shepherd on the mark there, and that'll get it right out of the danger zone. That umbrella Beck is blocking my vision, but that's okay. And there's a bit of argy-bargy on the sidelines here.
Welcome to my world.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm backing it up.
Yeah, fantastic. And the boys are just having an argument, and the umpire's pulling out a card here. It's a yellow card. A yellow card has been given to number 33 for Spock.
And no one, he's walking off through
so that's Brett Russell. Not ideal with the first time I call your name, you get a yellow card.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We're now going to see how waterproof this van is this season.
Big kick high up. And this will take a catch. Liam McDonald under it. Goes over the back. Danger man Latham, but well done. Just chopping off his egg collie. Benny McGill, pardon me, with the helmet. Does a good job just getting back and supporting it. And I think that pocket there is going to see a fair bit of play now, Phil Hurden.
Yep. I don't even know what to call that pocket. That is literally the St. Peter's pocket.
Well, it's the goal.
If that makes sense.
The soccer goal pocket.
Yeah, the hockey pocket.
Hockey pocky. Okay, and it goes right back out, repeat stoppage. Now, Phil, we're 22 minutes into the second
thankfully
quarter.
half-time is not far away.
There is, I'm not even going to head up to the catering at Caterer, if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
I've got to go back to my car and collect a voucher for one of our prizes.
You
so.
do too. As the ball, it's a good throw-in this time, a deep throw-in, and there are 25 players around the ball, and I guess basically I think it's someone...
I think everybody's decided, look, you can understand St. Peter's. I can't remember, was it 6 minutes ago they had an inside 50? It's been a while.
Ground level, beautifully done. Spittle! He's kicked it inside out, torpedo, goal on the run. And that is his first, and that is Teatree Gully's third. Getting a bit of value for that forward entries. They've kicked a couple of absolute crackers. Ryan Spittle with one, and Pete Personos has been their 2 goals. Probably the most unlikely of all the shots have yielded the goods, Phil Hurden.
Yep, of all the set shots that are very gettable, you put a snap on the run in the wet with a breeze and you nail it. That is Australian rules football. And look, Teatree Gully finally gets some reward for some dominating play after it looked like they were going to blow that opportunity. Half-time imminent. There's only been 2 goals kicked.
This last minute's crucial. If Teatree Gully can get one more, they'll put a gap on here. Big punch there by Penny at ground level now. It'll spill, but Spock will take control, and he's got the old Scooby-Doo legs going there. It's James Higgins. Oh, I'll tell you what.
Pesky kids.
Oh, don't get me started. I love Scooby. And McKay, this way, that away. Good tackle. Not to be McKay, actually. And the umpire says, holding the ball. He didn't get rid of it quick enough. It'll be a free kick to Spock, and that'll curtail the Teatree Gully scoring for this half, you would think.
As quickly as it came, you get the feeling the rain is starting to ease up. And I reckon all through that rain, Spock didn't have it inside 50. They're about to get one now.
James Higgins.
And a state under 16 player. Spent a little bit of time at Kingston Southeast, which is the current club of our former commentator, Sean Jackson. G'day, Jacko. You know you're not watching because you're coaching from Portugal, but that's a whole nother story. Josh Spence.
The Saints. Kingston Saints. Yeah, they trained with us last year, Glenn, a couple of times. So.
Well, you'd have probably an Adelaide contingent that would train up here. As you can see, the grandstand's getting pretty popular with that rainstorm. And looks like it's been
Liam McDonald. Whoever put the white chairs out this morning. Oh, that is an ugly kick that's going to work just about. Personos at ground level. He's dangerous. Quick kick forward. They probably know we're in the last minute here. Leading towards the ball's Charlie Allen, who's been serviceable. Inside out reverse. Torpedo.
That is a mongrel punch, isn't it?
She's not a pretty game, but it's tough. Well played there. Paddy Fay, Party Boy, comes down. Nice linking play. Ed Allen, I reckon he's been Saints' best today so far. Nice kick and great hands in the wet.
That's been the smooth. Oh, look, no, Saints have had a few in the first quarter, decent moves forward. That's the best one this quarter. As the siren goes, you want to call a kick after the siren, TJ?
The Adonis from 55 in the wet. It'd take his absolute best. I'm not sure he's got it in him. Gives it a ride, gives it a big ride. But yeah, as I said, a bit of a breeze. If the Adonis can't kick it, who can? Phil Hurden take us into half-time, my friend.
Alrighty, so I have got Teatree Gully 3-8-26, St. Peter's 2-3-15. So we might have to do a bit of a scoreboard adjustment at some point. In that quarter, I've got Teatree Gully kicking 2 goals, 6, Spock just the 1 behind. So St. Peter had the lead by 6 at quarter time. I've got Teatree Gully by 11. We will confirm that.
Can we get Beck to check that one in on us, Beck? What have you got on the scoreboard there, please?
Out the front here, we've got Spock 3-3-21, Teatree Gully 3-9-27. So that would be 6 points to Teatree Gully. So what average are we looking at here?
Spock did not kick a goal.
Yeah.
So someone's given a Spock. Okay. We will confirm all of that. We'll take a break. We'll get together. And we'll give you the correct score when we come back. Thanks to the Adelaide Footy League. This is, thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Nine News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Nine News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Nine News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on
And welcome back. You can see the players are back out, ready to resume proceedings. We have got a confirmed score. It is Teatree Gully 3-10-28, St Peter's 2-2-14, which matches up what we've got on our screen. Everybody's in sync. So St Peter's, who had a 5-point lead at quarter time, kicked just the one behind. Teatree Gully kicked 2 goals, 8. They've got the lead of 14, but Tommy Javor, they could just about have this one all done and dusted with a bit more accuracy.
Yes, they could have probably put the game away. They've left the door open, but they probably in control of the game. Just a couple of quick ones, Phil, if I may.
No, you've got a couple of minutes. I'm checking some scores.
Fantastic. It'd be remiss of me on the 6th of May, 2023, not to wish the happiest of happy birthdays to my beautiful wife, Katie. Obviously allows me not just to work in footy, but to go to it on a Saturday and a Sunday as well.
And a Friday night.
Hannah Fowles there Friday night, a patient woman and mother of my child. Thank you for
got
everything.
something special planned?
We're going to the Settlers Hotel. I'm not sure how special that is, but it's a local, great supporter of local footy clubs, and we love it there.
Is it a haunt of the Javors?
Yeah, well, it's got an indoor playground, so
perfect.
you can't go wrong.
And so the kids got the kids' vote.
Yeah, we've got the seat next to the indoor playground, but it was her choice, and we had a lovely morning together. Also, there's a beautiful rainbow in the sky, which just seems to have disappeared. But I want to throw down to Beck if she's there, because Beck, it's like it's a new season out there. All I can see is blue skies and sunshine. How are the conditions now?
Yeah, look, a new day has dawned down here. I mean, the sun's come out. I've dried myself off from late in that second quarter, but sort of two different climates going on today, and I think that might have a bit of impact on how this game pans out, because Tea Tree Gully really seem to thrive in those scrappy conditions in the wet. So if it dries out, maybe that could be a disadvantage to them. But yeah, I'm enjoying the sunshine being out now, and it's a lot nicer being a boundary rider with the sun out.
And the breeze itself, obviously there's a bit of a breeze. It is unpredictable though. It's not traditionally straight up and down. Is it swirly?
Yeah, and I think you guys picked up on it in the quarter. It was coming sort of towards your space in the caravan there for a bit, when early on it kind of seemed to be going the other way. So we'll just keep an eye on that. But you did see it kind of affecting the ball when goals were being kicked down this end for sure.
Thank you, Boundary Beck, on the job as always. Now, I think Phil Hurton's going to have some great scores from out of grounds.
Yeah.
Of course, in the sample, just quickly, the Dogs are braining Westies, and an upset is brewing, Port beating Nord.
Okay. Adelaide Footy League. Remember I said that Broadview were leading Prince Alfred 10-7?
They're not anymore,
close
are they?
to quarter time. Well, Broadview are still on 10.
Okay.
And Prince Alfred has moved from 7 to 36.
Yep.
So it's a 26-point halftime lead to the Red Men. Goody Saints and Brighton. Good news for Goodwood is they've already beaten last week's score.
Very good.
2-8-20. They're on 29. Brighton's on 44. And even though they're both 1-1, I reckon if Brighton get up there, that would be considered. That's an upset.
Yeah.
Glenunga and Old Ignatians. Well, it was 1 point late in the first quarter. Glenunga have got a wriggle on. They lead Old Ignatians 54-27, doubled the score, 27-point lead. And Port District Sacred Heart, a 2-point lead to the Premiers, 33-31 over Sacred Heart Old Collegians up at Largs Reserve. Here, it's Tea Tree Gully by 14. St. Peter's desperate to get their first win of the season. They've got some work to do. They're probably going to the scoring end. And a man who always scores for us is Tommy Javor.
I love it. Can even happen in Div 1A grade. Number 21 for St. Peter's, Gus Hazeman, has run to the wrong end. He's sorted it out now. And first juice here. Here comes St. Peter's. Oh, an early one here. Put the cat amongst the pigeons. They go long and direct. Good contest there. The numbers with Tea Tree Gully and at ground level. Beautifully read. It might have been Tyler Martin. To that man, your man. He's on a roll. The Jaffa. He's rolling down the candy shop aisle. And he has taken control of the ball at half back.
I wonder how many years he's had to put up with stuff like that.
They're not as popular as they used to be. And interesting enough, he is wearing red as well.
Yeah,
so
it's just
beautiful touch there. Alex McKay didn't take possession, but somehow got it onto his boot, to his good mate Personos. Out of mid-air there. Interesting play there. William Campbell. Haven't called his name too. So Cansdell. It's a tricky one to say, but it's going to be a relieving free kick here. No, it's not, sorry. It's not going to be relieving at all because it's Cody Tape. He'll push it deep. This time it's more direct too. But beautiful chopped off mark there. That looked like it might have been Louis Green.
We'll give it to Louis for the moment. Actually, I'd say Charlie Allen. Maybe.
Charlie Allen. Okay.
Not wanting to correct you too much, TJ. Ed Colley does have it. He's in the back pocket. He's going to spread it out to that outer side. Might be Higgins.
Yeah,
Again, we're guessing it's a long way from where we are. This is a longer view than you get when you're on the wing. Not much behind him except a couple of cricket side screens. He's going to keep it down that line, of course. On there.
Blake Penny.
Well, just waiting.
No, umpire. No.
He's paid it.
No,
he's paid a push.
And 25. And do you know why he's given it 25? Because it's a shocking decision, umpire. But they do a great job, Phil. He's just got that one wrong. Because Blake hasn't pushed it extended into the back. He's used his arm to protect the ball drop and taken a really good mark. He'll be disappointed with that. Anyway, we can move on. Good play. Oh, and that one is there, though. Credit where it's due when it's right. It's the
Nick
other umpire.
Michaels.
Nick, there's the goal sneak. And he'd love this 30 metres out. This is his bread and butter. You can write this one down. And this, again, is the start that St. Peter's needed.
TJ, don't say that.
No, he's a beautiful shot for goal.
He is a beautiful shot. Well, you know what's going to happen right now, don't you?
No,
It's going to land in the commentary box.
The breeze has died down. He'll put this into the hockey. And he gives it, come on! Leighton Hewitt-esque type cry. Soon as it left the boot, he didn't even need to watch it go through. It's a goal to Nick Michaels. It's his second, Phil. And those live wire dangerous forwards, he's doing his job.
Yeah, got a couple of targets. And, look, Saints, their quarter, in theory, the scoring end. Just to back that up, to this end, we've had 4 goals, 9. To the other end, we've had 1 goal, 3. So
13
Saints
scoring
have got
shots
it.
to 4. Yeah.
Got to make use of it and head for home, you'd think, in front if they want to try and break through for that first win. Zip and 3 start, never great.
I'll tell you what, again, it's the familiar names of Tea Tree Gully. They're going to be getting tired. I mean, that's only early in the third. But McKay, Penny, they're all in there. Tap one by Potter there. Extracts himself up and well rove beautifully. I think it might have been Benny Belperry to Ed Allen. I reckon Ed Allen's been Spock's best on that left foot. That trusty left foot looks for good defence. Stops Nick Michaels. Quick kick by Spock down to the teeth of goals. It's Flynn at the back, is it? It is Joshua Flynn. He's done a great job there. And he will clear to the near side with an ugly kick to Jaffa. Oh, but Jaffa picks it up. Oh, he goes for the don't argue. And he argued. And he stripped him of the ball. And Chad Shawmakers just says, oh, filth, Florin, filth.
That's prior opportunity every day of the week, every grade of Australian rules football. Ben Belperio with an 8-point deficit to try and overcome towards the goal square. Oh, sits beautifully, and the snap around the body hits the behind post on the fall from Edlock, and that will not register anything. Are they ruled it touched?
It was touched.
Okay, real touch. It wasn't going to be a goal anyway.
Solid deflection.
Okay. Throw in. Penny against Locken. Tap to the front of the pack. Getting there first is Higgins. He's tackled straight away. Ben McGill picked it up, drew some attention, got the hand pass on, and nailed it. I reckon that's Rodos.
It's the Adonis.
With his
Johnny
second.
Rodos.
And suddenly, we are back to a 2-point ball game.
And it's been all ground level goals. If you look through it, all small footballers. We're just looking at the replay now. Rodos swooping on the ball. He's pretty happy with it. The big fist pump.
How about the assist from Benny McGill?
Yeah, the boys all get around it. Very, very good. He sends himself back into the middle to try and win the next one. And again, it's Duncan, Rodos, Allen up against their Tea Tree Gully counterparts. And this game, it's game on, Phil. This is what we've been waiting for.
Yes.
All season.
We can joke about it being close 5 minutes into the first. But when it's 5 minutes into the third, we start getting excited.
Yeah, Penny at ground level. I liked his game. He follows up as well. And then lays a Shepherd. Triple effort there. Helps McKay. Jaffa, he's been in everything this early. He's on a roll, if you like. I've used that one. But he just soccers it, and that'll be a free kick against.
we need to want new material.
The umpire has come in to say above the knee.
Okay.
I'd love a replay of that. I don't think I've got the ability to call for a replay. But that wasn't above the knee in my book. Umpire puts it in. Good play. Jaffa at ground level. Well fought out by the Spock player, and it's locked in. As the boys go past in their beautiful Spock blazers. Probably cost more than my car as we move on.
They heard that.
They probably liked it. Oh, big tackle laid as I'm just getting carried away. And the umpire says, yep. Oh, there's a bit of follow-on there. Jaffa just gets tossed down the aisle.
I'll tell you what.
And he gets the free kick. Well, that's 25,
No,
I would have thought.
we have to make note that the player we can't tell the mud is Belperio, I think.
Yep.
Can't tell, can't read his numbers covered in mud.
He'll go to that pocket again. And that pocket is all Spock, is it? No, they managed to create a contest, Tea Tree Gully. I'm going to have to get on the binos, Phil. You're on.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, okay, I understand why you kick to the pocket sometimes. And I'm thinking, well, you kick it there, you're still 2 shots from goal. If you centre it, you've got half a chance of a long-distance shot if successful.
That's actually Ed Allen, whose numbers completely covered up.
Good, we got that sorted.
These binoculars are so powerful, they clear the mud.
You can see numbers through mud.
As they come down the guts, they've looked good when they've done this. Is this Cudmore? Just does what he did in the first quarter, puts it out in front and says, go get it, son. Go get it. Get on the run there, Nick Michaels. And Nick Michaels doesn't get it.
It was a great idea, except there is eventually a boundary line.
But you can't see it. There's two football ovals and no one knows where they stop and start.
It's going to end up with Mitch Napper. He won that race ahead of his St. Peter's opponent. In the end, though, the boundary probably won, which gives the victory to Tea Tree Gully. Good kick.
Good clunk.
Nice clunk. Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. William Cansdale, he looks up. Everybody runs past him. He's got about 4 players.
Was a rare drop. Sorry to interrupt, but a rare drop pump by Cansdale. Sorry, the kick to Cansdale there.
He puts that into the other pocket. They're not willing to back themselves in the corridor much, Tea Tree Gully, today.
Not going that way. Coming down where they were.
Yeah. Maybe they said, okay, maybe the breeze is stronger. Maybe they're saying we've got to be defensive, play the boundaries this quarter.
Yeah. It looks like that might be Vrodos, is it, with the ball?
It's Johnny Reid.
And kicks to Potter. Potter reaches up like he's reaching for a water polo, does well. Pleading for the ball is Benny McGill, saying, give it to me, I'm a little runner.
He's tall enough, he can just play water polo standing on the bottom, I reckon.
Big kick and down the line, though. It's tough to mark those today, but comes out. Spock letting the race the ball. Release handball's not actually a handball, but the umpire says you've got into his back. There's a bit little from column A, a little from column B for me there. He threw the ball but got into his back.
I'll be interested to know who provided the first motion there, but...
Yes. So what you're saying is he accentuated the contact?
Well, he was going forward as he was handballing.
Yeah, which makes it
we've got some fans out the front here, TJ.
Oh, it's my wife on her birthday. Hello. And my children. There you go.
Oh, they're not our fans. They're TJ fans. Okay.
Yeah, but we've got a shot for goal here. 35, 40 metres out directly in front. This is a huge kick for St. Peter's, and he has kicked that. He has absolutely shanked that. So that is no good at all.
So, well... Teacher Gully of St. Peter's. They've kicked 2 early goals and have had most of the play down here, which we're not going to complain about. Mitch Napper, plenty of space to run to defensive 50.
He has kicked that to
he had too much time to kick it that badly.
Yeah. But they release him board. Again, plenty of numbers around the ball here. Running onto it with a little bit of speed is the boy on debut, Tuckwell. Comes back though, Spock shoot clear, bounces around, chops off handballs. Handball is bouncing around all over the place. High ball now. That was a bit of a push, that one. Oh, spinning. Beautiful play there, Vrodos. Vrodos has been good this quarter. And it sets up the ball. He gets his own ball back. He's on his left here. He's non-preferred. Gets it down to looks for Ed Allen. Good contest there. And Napa Tasmania just gets taken away. He's got a team in the AFL now, Napa. And it is ugly football. There's a barrel down the guts. And it's Spock, and they'll bring it back. Oh, Phil.
And that's why Teacher Gully don't go down the guts. There's a target. Brett Russell, who's been interesting in dispatches, Brett. He's already had a little bit of extra time on the bench than he intended to when he got a yellow card in the second quarter.
He has dropped the ball there and been paid the mark. He's probably a bit lucky there, Brett, I'd suggest.
Well, Penny's not particularly impressed. He's going to provide the ruckman on the mark. And, of course, you want a tall bloke on the mark and you want a tall bloke on the goal line.
This for the lead from 40 metres out. And not too hard an angle, left footer. Oh, it doesn't look good off the boot, but it swings back a bit with the breeze, and he says, thank you very much. My mark, my goal, we'll take the lead. And 11 minutes into the third quarter, Phil, it's been all Spock. They've come out to play.
Yeah, you can 5-2, 32, 2-10, 28, 3-10, 28. 13 scoring shots to 7, but the 7 accurate is enough. You can see there's your Sportal scoreboard this afternoon. Of course, TJ's now got to start thinking a little bit, maybe changing his mind about some of the award winners we've got. We've got the best on ground, the New Balance $100 voucher, Dartfish beanie, and of course 3 votes towards the Roll the Dice Racing Player of the Year. Other awards we'll tell you about in a sec, but the Gullies are going forward. They need a steadier.
Yep, they sure do. First centre break for them, Phil. That was through show makers, but coming out wide. I'll tell you what, their spread at the moment, Spock, once they get the ball, is pretty good, isn't it?
It is not bad at all. St. Peter's moving down this outer wing. We haven't seen a lot of the ball there, but Spock with some numbers and a clean pickup. Chance to break it open. There's Charlie Allen. Quick hand pass. Ed Allen, sorry. It was an Allen. And almost on the leg.
Bang!
Good recovery though. Nick Michaels stayed in the contest. He fronted up the goal and has kicked his third. And in the space of 12 minutes, St. Peter's have kicked 4, and they are taking control of this football game.
Now, we're here to pass comment on the game, so you don't want to be harsh in comments, but Zach McKay coming off his wing, he had to come back and cover, and he had to beeline the ball, and he had to take Nick Michaels' body there, and he didn't do it. I'm not sure if we've got a replay of it. I think he'd be pretty disappointed with that, and if he had his time again, I think you'd find he'd be taking a bit more body with in that contest, and Nick Michaels wouldn't be allowed to swing around on his right and have a pretty simple shot 30 metres out.
But you loved it wasn't really a second effort because it was a continuous effort. Okay, tried to take the mark, couldn't take it. He didn't drop the head, he just kept at it, was able to find some space, and above all, was able to seal the deal with a straight kick.
Yeah, and there's plenty of people in the congestion now. Teacher Gully, as you said, desperately need one. They need a steadier. It is all Spock at the moment. This could get away from them very, very quickly. Massive amount of congestion around the ball. So massive, I said massive twice.
Yes.
Okay, and the umpire has found a free kick. I think it's a higher one, and it's going to he's not that young, Pete Personos, as looks like Aidan Tuckwell's just done himself a bit of a mischief on the ground there. But this is the man whose hands you'd wanted in, Peter Personos.
Absolutely.
Former league footballer and kicked a few goals for Nord. Don't worry about that.
53.
Well, there you go. There's quite a few. All right, Personos, left foot. Deliberate approach. Spock plays fairly close to him there, near him. 2 men on the mark doing some sort of calisthenics, and it's an ugly kick. Hooked it just going for that bit of distance, Phil Herden. And it is a 9-point ball game in favour of the home team, St. Peter's.
Yeah, I mean, at Adelaide Footy League, 89 games, Sandford 58 games, one of the most experienced and highly levelled players, and still shakes them. It happens to the best of them.
Yep. Good kick out, well met there. Good contest by Teacher Gully, getting it down. It might be Personos at ground level again. It is on the left this time. Shanks one out of his behind from the boundary line. Doesn't tumble right. Never looked like missing, Phil Herden.
Well, I've got 2 nominees now for Player of the Day, and it's the same bloke.
Well, I thought Ryan Spittle, his goal in the pocket was a very good one.
Absolutely. And then you had the previous one for Nick Michaels for the Saints, but Personos has kicked a couple of beauties after missing a much higher percentage shot. Teacher Gully needed that, back to 4 points.
Yeah, their first goal to eradicate a 3-goal, push 3 in a row there to Spock. 4 in a row, was it?
Yep. Went from 14 down to 10 up.
Yep. Oh, that's a throw, isn't it? Apparently not. I'll allow that, and comes on the end of it is number 7. That's Benny McGill. Benny McGill in the goal square, but it should be. It is taken and cleaned up. Oh, that's out of play.
Goal umpire coming in.
And the umpire says throw it in. Now, I'll tell you, he's done that very well. Mapper Tasmania there, Mitch Napper, he's had that surprised look at his face. What? It's out of play? Oh, yeah, that's right. I ran it straight over the boundary line. Pretended. But anyway, now, here comes the umpire. The ruckmen are a long way back on this one. It should drop short. It does. Again, good strength. Oh, out the ruck. That is very good play. And that is a huge play, Brother Spock. That's number... Who was it, sorry?
16, Ed Locken.
Ed Locken. Last year's B-grade captain has just out-muscled the Teacher Gully captain and kicked a crucial goal.
Well, not just a crucial goal, TJ. If I've got my sums right, that is his first goal at A-grade level for Spock. In 7 games. He's played plenty in the reserves. Don't have him kicking a goal there. He might have. But, got Teacher Gully get a goal. Spock answer straight away. Love the way they brought it straight down the middle. Created the throw-in, which put it in the arc of the goal. And, the ruck positioning for that was interesting.
Beck, can we just get a scoreboard check, please?
We're seeing 7-2, 44 to 4-1, 35.
Yep, beautifully done there.
4-11,
just bouncing. And Teacher Gully get a quick one back. Really sorry to cut you off there, Beck, but there's been a bit of magic there, and it's that man, Pete Personos again.
Far out. 3 for the day. Doubles his season tally to 6.
So, sorry, Beck. So just while we've got you, we've had 7 goals this quarter after 5 goals for the entire half. Obviously, conditions seem to have settled down. The wind's died down.
Yeah, been an absolute goal fest, as you said, and yeah, the wind seems to sort of died down. I mean, a little bit of a breeze now and then, but nothing doing really. And yeah, the sun stayed out, which has obviously suited Spock very well, but then Tea Tree Gully trying to get in on the action here.
Beautiful. And my children behaving themselves out there?
Oh, absolutely. Angels, 10 out of 10.
Beautiful. Back to the play. And Tea Tree Gully with the change-up ruckman there in the middle. Might be McDonald, is it? It's as they're fighting at ground level. Really important goal there. Personos, he's been so crucial this quarter to keep him in the game, and the umpires found one there, and he gives it to Spock. I don't think anyone knew who that was for, but I didn't really get a very good look at it. So
We're a fair way away. This quarter, Spock have kicked 5 without a miss. Tea Tree Gully have kicked 2 goals too, both to Peter Personos.
Duncan out wide, just spilling what he might have taken there. That was Cudmore, I think, in board. They've still got the ball, and these have been dangerous. Tea Tree Gully in best position. Oh, beautiful take on the run. Oh, he maybe had a bit more time than that. Brett Russell, your thoughts, Phil?
Hard from our angle. He was under pursuit. I would have done the exact same thing he did.
Oh, I would have panicked. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I would have. Look, you're in space. You're in range of goals. Get that ball on the boot as quickly as you can.
He is a left footer, I think,
Didn't
and that
miss
was
by a lot.
Yeah, and he went with his right there. And they go long down to the back flank there. Good mark there. And that's number 30 for Tea Tree Gully. That's Aidan Friday taking a mark on a Saturday.
Friday, another 2023 debutant. Kick down the wing. Personus is a fair way up the ground. This was Bill for Charlie Allen. He's not allowed to get it, though. Also in there was James Duncan. They've got some numbers here. I think I've seen about 5 different Saints players around at Cudmore, Montgomery, some of the veterans involved. It's spilled out of bounds, which doesn't necessarily... No, it is at last possession. Tea Tree Gully ball off their half-back flank.
It'll be Joshua Flynn, and we talked about it earlier on, Phil. I mean, was it 5 goals 11 to 7 goals 2? It's that accuracy of kicking. It could come back to haunt Tea Tree Gully, as we just had a stoppage there, just on the wing.
I think it has.
Well, it has already, but
think it has.
will it ultimately haunt them at the end of results? Because at the end of the day, if they get up, it won't matter. No one will talk about it. If they lose, it'll become a talking point for sure. Especially for the Div 1 wrap this week, Phil. On Between the Posts, check it out every week. You can watch it on the Adelaide Footy TV Facebook page. All right, ball spilling, and it's just action's just hotted up a bit. That game's just gone up a notch. Quick kick down the line, though. That'll probably be a St. Peter's free kick for last touch. And I've got to tell you, 3 rounds in, it's a decent sample size. I'm enjoying the last touch rule, Phil.
Oh, I love it. I had a few years in Sandford to deal with it, calling footy. It takes away that whole, what is it deliberate out of bounds, is it not? It's a black and white rule. I think it's a fair rule. It does add the element of players diving at the boundary line to try and get a touch to save the possession. And it means more footy in play. I can only think the AFL haven't adopted it because in doing so they'd have to concede that South Australia came up with something decent.
Well done, Phil. Nice little whack there for the AFL. All right, down the middle again. They've used the corridor reasonably well. I'm sorry for laughing. My daughter's just run past with a giant stick. Very distracting, but it'll be St. Peter, 70 metres out here. They'll probably hit it to the teeth of goals, you would think. Get it up in that breeze, see if you can get a bit of carry. Undecided here on the mark. Looks for the short stab pass and laces out. Absolutely laces out Ryan Spittle, who to his credit was in the right position in the hole.
We're in this critical part of the game, TJ. We often see it time on third quarter. Saints have brought it back to a 4-point margin after trailing by 14. Tea Tree Gully, you have to say, have steadied after St. Peter's kicked 4 straight.
Zach McKay to Cody Tate. Zach McKay dropped what he should have taken, but had enough time. Oh, great smother, brother. And he just lets him know about it too. Is that Sam Potter?
Just wondering who is going to take momentum into the 3/4 time break.
Yes, that'll be crucial, I think.
You think Saints, look, definitely scoring end where we are. You think Saints noses in front, they'll have to be. If Tea Tree Gully can get one, I reckon they're probably favourites to come home.
Yep, Spittle just starting to get a few touches here, crucial touches, getting it down. And again, Tea Tree Gully just seem to have lifted a little bit as I've broken another pen.
You do end up with a collection. But knowing where you work, I assume there's quite a few that you can find. Yeah. Borrow.
Use.
That's it.
There's another repeat stoppage right down in the pocket there.
As a coach, did you used to create great punishment with your pens?
So did I.
As a coach, would you take, you see AFL coaches, the phones. Who'd want to be a phone in AFL coaches?
Nah,
How safe are your pens?
nah, they're all good. I'm a pretty happy coach, especially when I'm winning. Okay, and Alan, he just takes off. He goes. And the umpire says, "Yep, that's okay. You can go, son." Nice, beautiful kick. Laces out Russell. Russell inboard that nice left foot. He is a left footer, as suspected. Looks for and finds Ed Collie. Collie with time for think music. Just outside his distance, 55 here. Kicks to the fat side. Oh, straight through the hands of Gussie Hazeman. Had a pretty quiet day, Gus. And they should clear Teacher Gully. Awkward, though. Good tackle, good pressure.
Kick by the boundary. Oh, supposed to stay in bounds, but... I'll tell you what, he dobbed it with the practice shot.
No, he hit the post.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, Benny Bill
My
Perry.
eyesight is going on me. Anyway, it's going to be a throw now next to the boys in the Blazers. Checking out what's going on here. Probably checked out St. Peter's, the school team, the first 18. They're probably done for the day. Checking out the old scholars, how that works here at Caterer Oval. Not much coming out of that umpire. So I reckon maybe about 3 more minutes of game time. 23 minutes gone.
Well, we've had plenty of goals this quarter, Phil. So
we have had a stack. That's right. We've had 7 goals after, as you mentioned, just 5 in the entirety of the first half. Show and makers with the clearance, only as far as another pack off hands, another throw in. 3/4 time coming up. We'll get back out to the huddles. We'll get some scores around the rest of the Adelaide Footy League Division 1, and TJ will give us his insightful analysis leading into the final quarter.
I better come up with something then.
Yep. Just giving you fair warning.
And well done there. Good play by Cansdale. Show makers. He's a beautiful kick normally. Makes it someone else's problem. They compete. They contest down the line. This way, that way. It looked like it was Louis Green, the cut snake. And he just gets it and squirts it out over the line.
Almost waiting to see who will kick the last goal of the third quarter.
Yeah, it could be the one. Well, it's going to be important either way.
Well, it will determine the lead if that's all there is to it. Although, of course, there may not be a goal as the umpire is. Well, that's the boundary. I was looking at the umpire, and he was sort of on haunches, and usually that means they're about to go hard on the ball. Except it was the boundary umpire.
Question without notice. Don't ask questions you know the answer to. I'm going to ask one. Who wins from here, Phil?
I still like Teacher Gully.
Yep.
I think they're playing around the ground. They're playing just as well as St. Peter's. Just Saints have better targets and a better forward system. Teacher Gully have got a quarter to work one out.
And we go deep into Teacher Gully forward line. They'll compete right in front of the giant building, we'll call it. The classrooms. But Spock will clear. They come back slightly towards the corridor. At ground level, it's good play there by Higgins. Inboard though, ball spills back. Big tickets penny goes back to where it came from. At ground level, Personos, not again, surely not. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. The ball bobs around, congested. That is his fourth. He is the difference in this game at the moment. There is no doubt about it. But, Phil, there's just, it's unclean. The ball's bobbing around like a cork in the ocean. We look at the replay, and he just finds cleanliness, speed, decision-making, and execution. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, you can't teach that.
Could have 6. He's missed a couple. He's missed the easy ones. He gets those. 4 goals, you're right. Here's the difference. Nick Michaels at the other end with 3 for Spock. It is a Teacher Gully. I've got Teacher Gully 47, Spock 45. The Gully's in front by 2.
They say he can make the ball talk. They say he talks a lot. He can make the ball talk. Well done in the middle there by the big... he just gets pushed off the line of the ball there, though, Hamish Johnson. And the ball comes wide. Ground level, it should be Teacher Gully taking possession. Again, he lost... He just got himself very low, and when you get low, sometimes you win yourself a free kick. That was Jake Robinson. Of course, I was friends with his mum. Okay. Mrs. Robinson. No, never mind. I don't know his mum. Hopefully he doesn't take offence to that one. Okay, and it's good mark. He's coughed it up, though, with a kick, and it has gone straight down to Spock.
Will Montgomery has it in the back pocket. Their transition's been pretty good. They've tended to come down the outer side, but there's a lot of players that have moved over there, have had plenty of time to do so. It's almost like both teams are sort of saying, maybe we'll just put the key on the rack for 3/4 time. Now we've got a contested play.
Yep,
now we've got Louis Green.
Forced to come in board, and this could break it open. Oh, at full throttle, full pace. It looks like Vrodas to me. Gets his own ball at ground level. They extract it out. Good ground ball get there. Nice execution there by Higgins. Doesn't quite hit McGill though. Now ball back in. They've got it, or they've worked it out. Is that Ed Allen swinging on the left, but to the near side, always missing.
There wasn't much pretty about that, but there was a level of persistency about St. Peter's that was impressive.
Yeah, this is what we wanted though, Phil. We wanted a close game. We wanted a tight struggle. It's not always going to be easy ball.
We wanted 2 sets of prize winners, just depending on who kicks straight at the end.
Yeah.
Bit hard to pick a best player at the moment. It's still really up for grabs.
Well, I think Personos has been the most important person on the ground.
But I mean, that's been on a back of a brilliant third quarter where they found a finisher after not having one in the second quarter. Spock ball, 28 minutes gone. 3/4 time reasonably imminent, you would think. And it will spill towards that boundary line and will be taken over. Another throw in, off hands.
As we just tick over 28 minutes, it's 47 playing 45. Teacher Gully by 2 points. They'll be desperate not to let a late Spock goal in here. If they can go in with a lead, you think that they should be able to finish the job off. Oh, he's done a little Gaelic solo out of midair there. Quick kick, and again, working back. Very well done there. That was Tyler Martin. I've liked his game. He's been pretty consistent all day.
And they're saying go to the boundary, son. Well, not go to the boundary, but just kick. That's a good kick.
Holds up a bit in the breeze, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's means it's 2 kicks for the Saints to come back. They got one through McGill, but that one lacked a little bit of direction. And again, let's
Riley
hold
Verrill.
up the play. You can see our Sportal scoreboard. Teacher Gully 6:11:47, Spock 7:3:45, 28:21. On the official time clock, we've added about 40 seconds somehow. And yeah, Teacher Gully, I think, would be happy to play hands off if they've got the skills to do so. Napa comes back and
Napa right in front of us here just says hello, commentary team. He's literally a metre from us.
Give the man
He'll
a
take the kick
microphone.
down the line. Nice kick. He had to kick it well. He was on camera. Probably just a little bit in the corridor more than he would have liked, but does create an opening. Zachy McKay off the ground. Quick kick, but St. Peter's should clean it up. Zach McKay misses the follow-up tackle. This way, that away. Spock down the line. Best position, and they've got Tickets Penny. He's been quite good today. And look at that big man. Just comes inboard, goes bang, and laces out. Oh!
Yeah. What he saw, he looked up, and he saw that Teacher Gully had a numerical advantage. Now, here's the interesting one.
Jake Robinson.
Is this going to be a free? Is this going to be a card? It is going to be a card. Is that going to come with meterage and a shot within range?
Oh, and bit of feedback coming from the Spock crowd. They can offer that feedback, just that robust conversation from the sidelines.
So there is a big mill of players. There's not going to be a shot.
No, he's about 70 metres out, I think. So if
Well,
they're
just when
25,
I saw the umpire with the hand up, it's often that's when they indicate 25 metre, let's move down. But it was deemed to be in the act. It wasn't a post-mark scrag.
Of course, we've got Beck heading out to the huddle. She's going to bring us plenty. But, Phil, should we have a look at the goal kickers?
We shall very quickly before we take the break. 4 to Peter Personos, 2 to Nick Michaels. It is Teacher Gully by 2 points. Big final quarter coming up. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back. There are the huddles. A big final quarter coming up for both teams. Losers last week. Teacher Gully win, they're in the 5. Saints win, well, they got to win. They're winless so far. To find out what's happening down there, let's go boundary side to our boundary rider, Beck Northcott.
G'day Phil, both groups have come in nice and tight, very tight huddles here, very clear messaging from the coaches on both sides. St Peter's very up and about, very much we can do this is our game. For Teacher Gully, keen to capitalise more on those chaos balls where their goals have been coming from, but definitely from both teams knowing they're both in this, I think we're going to see a very tight game, maybe a bit more of that push and shove, a bit more of that scrap. You know, we've seen a couple of cards, so both teams just breaking out onto the field right now. St Peter's having a bit more of a message here behind me, but I think they're really keen to get this win here on the home deck as they just finish off their final conversations here, final position changes, and back to you boys for this final exciting quarter.
Thank you very much for that, Beck.
Beck, just a quick question. The card that was given, the second card, was that a yellow card or a red card?
I'm not sure actually. It looked yellow from where I was standing, but can see if anyone knows anything down here.
I think the consensus is yellow. If you can give us something official, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Very quickly, scores around the Adelaide Footy League. It's Prince Alfred by 28 over Broadview. It's Sacred Heart by 24 over Port District.
Whoa.
It's Glenunga by 16 over Old Ignatians. And it's Brighton by 3 over Goodwood.
Wow.
So
what tips are up there?
We've got the close one. Final quarter coming up to bring us home. You're with Tommy Javor.
I'll tell you what we've got right in front of us too is Peter Personos in the Personos pocket as Phil just takes in the air down the wrong tube. It's Penny versus Potter. Ball at ground level, won by Ed Allen. He's been amazing today. Swings on that trusty left foot, the former reserves McGarry medalist. But it's won by Teacher Gully. Release handball from Zach McKay. He probably owes him a couple. Big long kick. Flying to the young fella on debut Friday. At ground level, Spock winner all missed. Cudmore goes inboard again. Another missed handball. You can't miss handballs in your forward 50 because they'll pounce on him. Personos on his left. Oh, he looks dangerous. Oh, he nearly made that talk through. He's the ball whisperer.
The ball whisperer. Well, his ball wasn't replying earlier on. Very dangerous. I mean, that'll go down as a, probably a rush behind more than a miss, I suspect. Either way, a 2-point margin becomes 3. Here comes the clearing kick. In the sunshine. Almost a target, but through some quick hands, and then the kick by Ed Allen, who was off balance, and the kick reflected that out of bounds, and it's going to be Teacher Gully through Riley Burrell to bring it back inside 50.
Burrell swings inboard, down the line. Looks for the big fella Friday. Ball goes over the back. Danger. Danger. Umpire says free kick Gullies. And it's going to go to...
Holding on, William Cansdell's going to take
William
a shot.
Cansdell. This could be his moment. Certainly the most important kick for him today. He is only 20 metres out. He's on a side angle. But let's be honest, Phil, apart from the snaps from this pocket, the set shot kicking from this pocket has been, it's been
the set
rubbish.
shots have not been great.
Yeah.
Too much time to think about it, maybe.
All he needs to do is guide it down, make good contact. Just remember the principles of goal kicking. Momentum, alignment, ball drop, point of impact, follow through, and you'll get 6 of the best, Mr. Cansdell. He does all of that and more. They celebrate. It's his first. It is their 7th, and they get the crucial first goal of the last quarter, and they take a 9-point lead to the Gullies. As we look at the replay, beautiful approach, everything straight lines, no round the corner crap, and it's straight through the middle.
It's quite remarkable that the end that we're at has seen 10 goals kicked and a whole stack of behinds, I might add, to just 4 down the other end.
Yes.
On a day when there's a breeze, but you wouldn't say it was Mirth more than a goal a quarter.
No. Or is it?
Yeah. What do we know? We're back in the middle. Now it's up to St. Peter's. They were looking the goods. About 10 minutes into the third when they'd kicked 4 in quick succession and had a 10-point lead. Gully steadied, have kicked the last couple. Now it's them by the 9 points. Through some clearances. Well, high hand pass in hope. Aerial ping pong. Spittle's got it. He's found a teammate. A bouncing kick.
Oh.
Not the prettiest. Personos is loose. He's at 50. He's taken high. I mean, that's got to be A-free to someone. It was deemed holding the ball.
I think he's paid holding the ball as a combination of the 3 attempted tackles, but none of them actually stuck. So let's play on.
Don't you have to be...
He's got the handball away. I think he's actually unlucky.
Doesn't the rule say you have to be retarded? Like, stopped with the ball?
Yes, and he got the handball away effectively while sliding off. Anyway.
I can hear Colin Ralston's getting on the phone right now.
Oh, speaking of Colin, I went down to Ingle Farm versus Mitchell Park today. Both teams in green, umpires in green. Great work, Cole. And what's worse is Mitchell Park wear a lime green. The same. Anyway, room for improvement, Colin.
But look, it's not the AFL. We don't have a different umpire's uniform for each.
Let's get back to the play field. We had an exciting game on our hands. It's 9 point the difference.
I know.
So it is 9 point the difference.
9 points.
Yep.
Look, it's close than anything. It's about 15 goals closer than anything we've dealt with this season so far.
Spock needs some clean midfield extraction here. Just got a bit, and there is some good play. Chain of handballs ends up in the hands of Ed Colley. Ellie Colley goes to that pocket, and that pocket will see the ball float out about 35 metres around, maybe 40 metres.
I blame the barbecue.
Okay.
Why they go to that pocket all the time.
Well, I've managed to abstain from heading up there. So.
No. And look, the barbecue is magnificent. Their burger, steak sandwiches, magnificent. Don't get me wrong. But it's just, I reckon it's some subconscious. The drift and the smell of the barbecue just makes players want to go there.
Yes, fair enough. Interesting. Teacher Gully, and he's playing in front. Really good play there, Canstel. He's had a good last quarter early on. He's kicked the goal. He's had a couple of handy touches. Goes to Jaffa. Haven't minded his game. Yeah. He's shown a couple of facets.
For his first league game this year and only his 8th at A-grade level.
It's been solid on the inside, like a Jaffa. And he kicks down 2 and finds a Robinson. Was it a Beatles song? Hello, Mrs. Robinson.
Yes.
Was it? Okay, there
Possibly.
You go. That's what I was going for at some point.
Just worried if I encourage you, you'll start singing.
No. Sing. Zach McKay comes in board to the man in the sleeves. Well, now forgotten Personos competes, just causes a contest at ground level. He's dangerous, kicks with his right, and just forces a point.
That was all set up for the moment when 2 Spock players were going to run into each other. Peter Personos would do the Steve Bradbury, be the last one standing and kick the match winner.
Yeah, apologies to Josh Spence, whose name just escaped me there as he provided a good contest. Marcus Roberts in front. Oh, dangerous kick. Maybe should have come out this way. To Marcus Roberts right in front of us. His parents watching in the pocket. Big shout out to Mum and Dad there, Adrian and Mum. As the ball comes, quick play there. That's Zach McKay, puts it high. All St. Peter's though. And a great mark, Harry Cudmore.
That's the only thing Teacher Gully have lacked. And that's a tall target.
Or
it's the kick coming in for
paid
Roberts.
The mark
you
there.
saw that better than I did, TJ.
Yeah, Marcus Roberts. It's a good contest there. It's a strong contest by Brody. They just showed too much of the ball. And big punch there. From that man again in the long sleeves, Josh Spence.
Yeah, he's done well. He knows where the long sleeves stand out, get called.
Yep.
So we are 6.5 minutes in. The only goal thus far this quarter has been to the Gullies. Penny with a tap. Spock defence is on to that.
Alex McKay. He's just a little, they call him the boss or Alma. He's just a terrier. Look at him. Turns on a thrupney bit, gets going the other way. Penny, backhanded, reverse Malachi at ground level. Teacher Gully with the numbers. And, he just soccers it towards us. They probably made the wrong decision there, Chatty Showmakers. The umpire signals deliberate, but I think it's last touch.
It is. going to be Spock ball right in front of us.
Johnny Reid here.
Even I can call this. Johnny Reid.
He's actually a teacher. He's one of the assistant coaches, Johnny Reid, and a teacher at Scotch, interestingly enough.
Okay.
I wouldn't kick it near Personos direction. He's dangerous. He'll eat it for breakfast. This way, that away. Inside looked like it's a big, long ball. It's a dagger in the heart. It's William Cansdell with his second for the quarter. He's the difference in this one, Phil. And they high-five all around. It's like watching the Lakers at the moment. And they take a 15-point lead and maybe have broken the back of a valiant Scotch.
Cancel has scored goals all 3 of Tea Tree Gully's games, 2 against Old Iggy's, 1 last week where he was one of the best, and he has come up big time.
Yep, I'm just going to go to Beck, Phil.
Yep.
Beck, are you there? Right.
Yes, I am right here.
Beautiful, right there at ground level, right in front of you. Is it just starting to look like at the ground ball, Tea Tree Gully taking control in the clinches?
I think it is, and that seems to be what they've been working on all day. Like, they really believe in their ability at ground level, putting their head over the ball and, coming out with possession.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Beck Northcott.
Louis Green with the kick inside 50. Now it's Spock absolutely desperate. This has been one of the biggest margins of the game. It's 16 points, 15 points, 60 to 45.
Yep, Spock need to do...
Looks like missed it behind somewhere.
No, I think you're right there. They need to do what the Gullies did in the last quarter and find a way to score at that end, where they kicked a couple of goals, a bit of Personos magic. Maybe they need a Nick Michaels or someone just to bob up, because momentum's a funny thing in football. Marcus Roberts, beautiful bit of sold the candy, then long down, get it down there, get a crummer in and under. But again, Tea Tree Gully should clear. And again, they're spreading pretty well. Beautiful play there. Robinson inboard. He's been good this quarter, hasn't he? We've called his name a few times. Down they look for, but do not find, and well read there by the Spock defender coming across, taking the mark.
So, almost time to start thinking, TJ, in your mind about how we're going to distribute our prizes at the end of the day.
Oh, how many great prizes? Mouthguards, new
of course, there's the special. There's the new prize this year with your
Archie
arrival.
Stongs, TJ
Special Award.
Yes.
I'll call some footy. You have a think. Right now, Spock, well, it's around their 50-metre arc and tackled well. Marcus Roberts was tackled. He's going to be holding the ball. Will go the way of Zach McKay. He got a teammate on the wing. Well, it looks like Brodie Latham maybe with the orange boots is pretty much a giveaway. To a bit of an open half-forward line. Thump from Sam Langley forces the throw-in. Chance for Spock to regroup and for Tea Tree Gully to try and set up. I reckon the Gullies are about a goal away here. They lead by 16, relatively low scoring. We did say first to 60, or what would you say? First to 8 goals might win, and Tea Tree Gully have got 8 goals. I reckon 9 would make a match of it. Right now it's a bowling ball. Zach McKay, the thump. St. Peter's trying to move it forward. Umpire's found a free. Hang it on. Will go the way of the boys in blue. This will be Vrodos.
Be good today, old Johnny. The Adonis. I'm going to get you to fill in your one there, Phil, and I'll take
some footy.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have a look here. Vrodos here. Look, it's time, and it's just the breeze picks up, which doesn't help Spock, and he's undecided. You just got to roll the dice now, Johnny boy. And he goes. He does look for the big switch. They've got numbers there, but Tea Tree Gully also have numbers. Tuckwell's tackled, and the umpire gives him holding the ball. And it's Charlie Allen here. He's got the ball. The best part of the wing here for Spock. Don't go to the pocket, mate. That's not where you want to go. And he goes directly to the pocket. What do I know? Anyway, that's why I'm in the box. Vrodos. He's been everywhere. I tell you what, his ground coverage is fantastic. Kicks it round the corner and the ball just spills out. I'm not sure it was touched either. I think that might be a Tea Tree Gully free. Or perhaps it was touched. I'm going to get on the binoculars.
Josh Flynn has it.
Josh Flynn has it. These binoculars feel so powerful I can see whose free kick it is. All right, as we come down. And it's fair to say they need the next one, Spock. They may even need the next chew, to quote the great man. But
they need 3.
Your award is done.
They've got about 15 minutes to do it.
Okay. I'm not going to talk about it and give it away, but you might need
a hand with the other ones, let me know. But
yeah, no, I'll be right.
Penny with the tap. Tuckwell on debut, been useful.
He's tried. He's certainly tried.
Yep. Well, that's probably the first thing you want to see. If that doesn't happen, the rest really doesn't matter much. at ground level. And Teacher Gully are doing what they do very well. They when I saw Saints at their best, they were clean, they were down the guts, they had quick movement. And Teacher Gully, they're a scrappy mob that just, after half-time, have taken use of their opportunities.
I just think, and this is just me thinking out loud here, Phil, as the ball's just bobbing around, they're missing tools. They're missing, I remember back in the day they had Big Roberts who used to dominate ruck. I know Toby Schultz is not there anymore. He was a key position player. I think they're just missing a couple of down-the-line targets to take some clunks.
This in St. Peter's?
Spock, I'm speaking of. And that's where I know they've lost a lot of players and they're playing a lot of new younger kids and guys from the seconds who deserve their, but they probably just need a couple of big bodies for when they do have to have that kick down the line.
I mean, they've got a couple of tall lads, whether they're bulky players as you mature in that ruck, position or, centre half forward, centre half back position remains to be seen. And the work around the ground by Penny has really been good.
They've got a very big tool in the second, so I don't think he's all that keen in playing first, and he might need to, because all of their goals have come from Nick Michaels, Ed Loken, Brett Russell, Johnny Vrodos. Anyway, we'll get back to it as the ball comes Citrus Gully. One here, it's that man! He's on debut! Aiden Tuckwell!
Well,
and do you reckon...
I reckon I've done my play of the day, but...
Well, have a look at that, Phil. It's like I knew.
Okay.
There's a little...
Debutant with the mark, and if he kicks the goal to seal the win...
30 metres out. I reckon, have a look at... They're not pressing up for the kick out. They're pressing up for the celebration here. Because if he kicks this, they will go dead set cocker hoop. 30 metres out, deliberate approach. He looks like he's going to kick it. He puts it up. He kicks it, and they get the hell around him. Get over here, rub me head, pat me bum, and give me some lovin'. Aiden Tuckwell with his first of his senior career, hopefully not his last.
Was that what you used to yell when you used to kick a goal from the TJ pocket?
Yeah, something like that.
No, well, look, that's a magic moment.
Yeah,
well called, Tony.
You never forget your first,
well
they say.
Mate, that's a magic moment. First, at a critical moment. And well done to the lad. May he always have that memory on video to show the kids, grandkids, etc. What does it do for this ball game? I reckon it nails it. 22 points, biggest margin of the day. Teachery Gully have kicked... they have kicked the last 4 goals. And Saints haven't scored since the third quarter and a fair way into that, early into that third quarter. We're going to give it a burl here, so to speak, and they've got a target. Because the one thing that Teachery Gully can't do is say, oh, we're there, and take the foot off the pedal. We've still got 10 minutes of game time at least, you would think. Kick outside 50. It's not going to get the distance. Aerial ping pong. Usually these are conceded for a point. Someone tries a miraculous snap. Well, he did manage to kick it over his head, but only for a behind.
Well, the problem we've got, Phil, it's the largest, was just the largest lead of the day, 22 points, and Spock are yet to trouble the scorers with a major at that end of the ground. That makes it very difficult from here.
Hard to win a game if you're goalless to one end of the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to work on this last award, Phil. It's tougher than you think. It's harder to pick than a broken nose, some might say.
The best team player, can I suggest one then?
Not out loud, but...
Okay, I'll do this.
Just point to him. Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
Okay.
But he won't be in the votes, but he'll be the best team player of the day.
For stepping up in the moment that mattered.
Yep, I'm happy with that. We'll just have our own private conversations while there's a game of footy going on.
If you're watching at home, you'll find out soon enough.
Because Beck will be interviewing him.
We like to keep some suspense, so you keep watching, pretty much. Okay, and we'll also give you some final scores. I'll attempt some sort of a ladder. It will get better as the season progresses. Spock, almost at last chance saloon now. They're working it around their defensive line. They'll go down the interchange area. Nicely intercepted, the kick from Fay by Ryan Spittle, who's had some key moments. He loads up. To the hot spot we go. Out the back. It was a little push. Umpire saw it. And just as Personos was about to dash through for a beehive, it's a Spock free. Charlie Allen. He takes off. He goes to Fay. And we're having a little bit of a ball in dispute at the moment, although Spock are trying to run it down the boundary line. They did well to get through that mud patch. The Teacher Gully are waiting for it. Schoenmakers has had some good moments. The key Teacher Gully players, I mean, if you were to match these teams up, probably Teacher Gully have got a season or two of A-grade experience over their Spock opponent.
Yeah, and I mean their list has been together for longer, as I mentioned, having commentated them 5 years ago every home game on a special deal I was doing. So it's familiar names: McKay,
Yep.
Penny, these types, Spittle, Schoenmakers. Whereas with Spock, there is certainly a turnover and some new players there. So a bit of a changing of the guard, if you like. They certainly have been good today, though, Spock. They haven't disgraced themselves, and it's been a good competitive outing.
For the 21, Liam McDonald, I got no idea what he did beforehand. Must have just have a different Play HQ registration, I suspect. You don't just turn up to training and play league football. You got to have some background. Aidan Tuckwell from spent 2022 with the Kookaburras, Central District under 18. But they're the
Big
only
fly.
ones that have come
McKay.
in. Yeah, umpire. We saw it. Umpire saw it 180 degree opposite, and Alex McKay is going to get a chance to add to his goal kicking tally and really put this one beyond all doubt.
There is similarities between Joel Selwood and Alex McKay. They're spiritual leaders of their club. They're in and under. They're tough as nails. Joel Selwood's never been on a reality TV show, of course. Alex McKay was on MasterChef, wasn't he? Or My Kitchen Rules or Love Island? No, he was on The Bachelor. I don't know which one. I didn't watch it. But anyway, he's going to line up from 40 out. And he does always get a free kick for a high contact every single week. Doesn't look like he's hit it right, and he has hit it to the near side. Yes, but he does know how to work the ball in at ground level and then be the recipient of a free. But that's because he's hard and in and under. As they go along to the same spot they've hit pretty much all day without too much success, but they clear this time. Running onto it, well done. James Higgins down the line, looks for and finds his teammate. They've got to come inboard now, though.
About to hit time on, 45 seconds from that, into the mud patch in the middle. Picked up, here come Teacher Gully on the rebound, where they've been dangerous. This is the youngster, Cody Tape, wearing JB's old jumper, finds Friday. And he looks like a tall target. That's sort of where Teacher Gully have lacked a little bit up forward. He looks likely, but he's still... He's only debuted this year. This is his third game.
Very interesting setup for a kicking technique.
Okay.
And he is 35 metres out, pretty much straight in front. Looks different. He's a left footer. He shanked it a little bit. Has he? No, they say, yo, Adrian, we're home.
Kicked a goal last week. Got a goal this week.
Adrian Friday has got them the chocolates today. That's pretty much all she wrote. The last 7 or 8 minutes will be just for the sake of it. And Teacher Gully have a look the goods, and my 1 to 39. I think you said 4 goals, Phil. I think we were both pretty much spot on.
20. I'll tell. Look, when it's 28, I'll take that.
But it took until the last quarter to break it open.
Yeah, and it often happens that way. And we're not done yet. We're just starting time on, but the result is not in question. Next week, St. Peter's sitting at zip and 3. They travel to Webb Oval, take on Gullanunga, who are currently leading. We're leading Old Ignations by 16 at lemon time.
Lemon time.
Lemon time.
Yeah, three-quarter time. Yeah.
Brighton Bombers host Broadview next week. Teacher Gully, they're going back to Pertaringa to host the Goodwood Saints, who could be 1 and 2. Old Ignations host Sacred Heart. And Prince Alfred Port District, the Div 1 Grand Final rematch is where you and I will be with the filming footy crew.
Where will we be, next week?
We'll be at Park 9.
Again?
Yep. No Premier this time, but 2 teams that played in last year's Grand Final. We'll get our first look at the defending Premiers. Port District.
Allow me to retort, my good friend. There is a Premier there in one Port District.
Yeah, there'll be... Yeah, good point. Oh, that's what I was working towards, but thank you, TJ. Teacher Gully, a chance to go forward again. They've been so persistent. They've got crummers. They've got people who can snap.
Look at the two of them there. Look at Personos. Give me the ball. Let him know. He's pointing at his chest. Personos is giving us plenty. I love the kid. He wants to roll the dice award. He's giving us away. You're going to win a bloody racehorse, Peter Personos.
Not today.
No, but
Not
he'd be close to getting 3 votes. Whoever
Yeah.
decides it, might be me. He's been very, very good over 4 quarters and electric. Oh, well done. Nice mark, nice contested mark. Just falling his lap there, Brodie Latham. Probably hasn't been his greatest day, but he has had that forward line pressure. I've been impressed with that.
He's got one behind. I reckon this will challenge him for distance. Because I can't see the 50-metre arc sort of disappears at that element, but I reckon he's right on 50. We'll see. Kick will drop short. Friday lurks. And again, it's touched. Another behind.
He's off.
Thankfully, it hasn't cost Teacher Gully this game.
Gadmore's had plenty of the ball, that's for sure. He's been good. And when he gets the ball, he takes off. I like his zip. I like his mojo. I like the cut of his jib, Phil.
Let's ask the question that's going to be asked. St. Peter's, zip and 3. Are they in trouble for this year?
Well, I hate referring to... We did a Christmas show, and at the Christmas show I said they'd get relegated, so...
Along with...
Old Iggies.
Who are also winless. So
it's as if I know some stuff occasionally.
You are absolutely a May Premier. We'll see how you go.
And I also predicted 2 teams to make the grand final, currently undefeated. So it's only early days, but geez, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with the third best for Teacher Gully here, mate.
Okay, no, we agreed on it before.
No,
the third best.
This is for the roll the dice, and there's pressure on with this roll the dice award
because
it's 5% of a racehorse worth $7,500. Not to mention all our other great sponsors.
Right, you call some footy. I'll just look through this list and come back to
Okie dokie, out wide at Teacher Gully. Ball on the forward end for Spock. Good tackle. Drops the ball. Free kick Spock. I might have to get on the binos there. We're a long way away, but it looks to me like it's James Higgins. It is Jimmy Higgins. I've got some notes on James Higgins. I probably haven't given them to you yet. Nor Junior. He was.
Played for Kingston South East.
Yes, Kingston South East. He was a Saint. Now he's a Spocker. Kicks awkwardly around his body.
What?
Pardon?
A Spocker.
Spocker? Who plays for Spock?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, good tackle. Oh, a savage cocoon of terror. He was not going anywhere. That is beautifully done there. Just about the tackle of the day there.
All right.
Is that an Archie's thong type moment?
No, you've done that.
No.
Hang on. I'm going to...
Oh, Phil's taking the votes.
Well, it's
and he's
one
gone
vote.
with... Yeah, that's who I was going to put, but he's just been quiet this quarter. But
he has been quiet this quarter.
Yeah.
Usually I ignore final quarter form, but the game has been there to be won, but he's probably kept Teacher Gully in it. And certainly first quarter, Spock had the ball a lot, and he was very good defensively.
Round 3.
Okay. I think we're sorted, TJ. So
yep, I'm taking photos.
When you want to head out and help Beck,
no,
I'll take it from there. Because you're going to do the first interview, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. As we work this all out, live streaming at its absolute finest. Boundary umpire wanted to throw it in. Field umpire said no, it's actually a ball up, not a ball in.
Someone watching our broadcast is ringing me. Very funny stuff, that. Hasn't been done before. As we watch the play now, Phil.
Okay.
Ball's a long way away from us again, isn't it? Plenty of people around the ball, though. Quick snap.
Kick across the goal.
Yeah.
Could have been by either side. It was by Teacher Gully.
Yeah.
Ball spills fortuitously for them. I mean, the fact that unless it falls in the lap of a St. Peter's player in front of goal, any bounce will do. Spills out of bounds. The little bit of afters here. I mean, guys, game's over. You know, you'll be having a beer together soon. Just chill out.
And they've given away a free. Silly play. Teacher Gully fans just say, there you go. Have some of them. Little malfunction at the junction in the pocket. Teacher Gully come up with the ball. They'll go long down the line, courtesy of Josh Spence. Oh, Blake Penny competes well. Allen of the Charlie variety. Ball pushing out wide. It looks like it's Fay. Paddy Fay, party boy. That's not his biggest day, that's for sure. Down to Allen again. He certainly tried. Josh Spence just going to start all over again, Phil.
Yep, back to where we started. 26 minutes gone. This one is done and dusted. Round 3 of the Adelaide Footy League. Thank our sponsors, the Banner Crew, our game day sponsor. The Sportal Scoreboard has been interesting today. Buddy Bet, well, we'll have to find out weekly wrap tomorrow who won the Buddy Bet. Will the Wonkies, between them, for Glenunga beat Old Ignatians. Right now it's Spock with the ball. Here goes Brett Russell with a long shot. It's going to be wayward to the left-hand side.
So
Russell, I've got 1 goal, 3 for this afternoon.
It hasn't been their worst. It's the first time, though, that was the way they played, the style of play they played coming this way, down the corridor, bang. They haven't tried it at that end, maybe for fear of a turnover, but it looked effective.
Where St. Peter's have been able to get open, they've looked really good, really smooth.
Yep.
Margin 30 points at this stage.
Ball bounces, just knocked on beautifully there. They've got the run of the ball here. Oh, Tuckwell probably doesn't quite take the line of the ball the way his coach would like there. But that's all right. He's got big tickets, Penny there, just taking a mark that he'll talk about in the club rooms later on tonight. And he's out on his lonesome. I'm not sure who that is. Personos will be the man he goes to, is he? Uses his body well. This way, that away. Just drops and probably gone. And the umpire says, no, play on. They'll work as a tandem here, this duo, Latham and Personos, inboard. Oh, like watching the Gowans, boys. And that ball has hit the ground, umpire, from my vantage point. But Peter Personos says, the camera's on me. I'm trying to win the roll of the dice. I want to kick 5. I'm going to take a shot from about 32, 33 metres out.
Have I impressed the boys in the booth enough to get a prize today?
Pistol, Pete Personal. So I don't need to take any paperwork with me, do I? Because I'm just going to...
You should. You should take those 2 with you.
Just in case?
Well, has Beck got hers?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
as long as someone out there,
Oh.
as siren goes, see you, TJ. Personos
I'm off
comes
for the
in
awards.
for the Beehive and make it a really good day for the Tea Tree Gully Footy Club. That is a cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake. Peter Personos has his 5. Tea Tree Gully have their 2nd win of the season. 11 goals, 16, 82. St. Peter's 7-5-47, a game high 35 points in that quarter. Suffice to say, Tea Tree Gully went boom. They kicked... no, they didn't. They kicked 5 goals. St. Peter's, as TJ mentioned early, not sure what it was about the school end today with the home fans. They did not see a goal down their end of the field. Beck Northcott and Tommy Javor are rounding up our prize winners as we speak. So stick around for that. I'm going to quickly zip around some other scores. Of course, just if you didn't know already, all our games are streamed in Div 1. I can tell you at Goodwood, this was the close one. They're 27 minutes into the final quarter. And we're going to go to an ad, okay? We'll take a break. We'll have those scores. But I can tell you that, it's close at Goodwood. Let's leave it at that. Back in a minute.
Nine News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back. Let's go down for the prizes. Let's go to Tommy Javor.
Oh, that's the best part of the day. It's time to give away awards. The first one, of course, is the TJ Special Awards. It's the Archie's Thongs, not just footwear, comfort. And our winner on debut is Aiden Tuckwell. There you go, mate.
Thank you very much.
Now, the reason you've won, mate, A-grade debut today. How did it feel out there?
Yeah, it felt amazing. Obviously, at the start, I was a bit nervous, but once I got into it, then, yeah, I was pretty excited and pumped up. And thankfully, we got the win from it, so which is pretty good.
Beautiful 35-point win to the Gullies today. Tell me, you've been at Caterer Gully Junior. What does the Caterer Gully Football Club mean to you?
Yeah, it's really good, actually. The culture's really good. All the teammates, staff, all support me throughout the way, and yeah, couldn't be happier with the team.
Beautiful, mate. Last one. It's Mother's Day next week. Your mum's over there watching. Tell your mum you love her.
Love you, Mum.
Beautiful, Aiden Tuckwell. And I'm going to throw to Phil back in the booth.
This game here, as they line up the next prize winners, was in the end, a 35-point win to Caterer Gully. The goal scorers for Caterer Gully, 5 to Peter Persinos, 2 to Ken Steele, singles to Spittle, Robinson, Tuckwell and Friday. For Spock, 3 to Nick Michaels, 2 to John Vrodos, singles to Ed Locken and Brett Russell. Let's go down for some more prizes, this time with Beck Northcott.
All right, we've got a couple of extra players down here, so we'll start off with our best on ground, who gets the much coveted Dartfish beanie, as well as a $100 New Balance Belgravia voucher. No real surprises here. Peter Persinos, you kicked your 5th goal on that siren there. How did you feel out there?
Oh, I was up and about, and when the team gets into me, you don't get into me. I love the energy, and I live off that, so that's good.
Yeah, you said to me before you were really wanting that 5th goal, so you really dive on it there in the last few seconds.
Yeah, definitely dove on it, cramped in both my hammies. He's getting a bit old, but yeah, got there in the end and kicked the goal, so got Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, you kicked a pretty nice one off the left in front of us here early in the game. I think that was the first quarter. How do you get those through?
Oh, I don't know. I pull it out of my ass, I think, but I should have given you guys a bit as well. Should have got around you.
TJ was getting around you plenty on the stream. So you also actually have won our play of the day. So that's 2 awards for you, which is you get a Neomorph mouth guard. So you got the beanie, you got the mouth guard. You're pretty much all kitted up there.
Well, I had a day out then, I guess. I'll take that.
Well, you guys look pretty up and about, so good to get the win.
Yeah, love it. We needed that, so yeah, it gives us 2-1 for the year. So hopefully puts us forward for the rest of the season.
That's it. And then we've also got our best team player of the day, which you get a Moseley Bar and Kitchen voucher. So this goes to William Cansdale. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Apart from old mate over here kicking a bag, I think it was very much a team game from you guys.
Yeah, it was. We had a few key outs and we had lots of young blokes stand up and proved it on the scoreboard. They all got involved everywhere over the ground. It was good to watch.
And score was a bit up and down early. How do you kind of settle everyone and, sort of move it forward and get on top?
We just know we've got to stick to what we're best at, and that's winning the contested footy. Once we got on top there, it was easy to score goals.
Yeah, I heard a lot in your huddles talking about the ground balls and how you wanted to get it to ground and jump on top of it. Is that something that you focus on?
Yeah, we thrive on the ground balls, and then they started to get on top in the first half. So once we sort of, manned off and shut that off from them, we were able to win our own ground ball and go from there.
Well done, boys. I think, as I said, it was a great team performance. So Caterer Gully got the win down here. So congrats to all our award winners. Back to you, Phil and TJ.
Thanks very much, Beck, and thank you very much, Beck, and congratulations to all of those award winners. TJ joins me, and the vibe at ground level with the players, I think they can take some satisfaction in a win that was hard fought, but they got there in the end.
Well, he certainly did. Doesn't Personos battle in front of the camera? Really shy, unassuming young lad. Got myself a Michelle Pfeiffer. I love it. Absolutely love it. Not enough of it in football. Everyone's a robot these days. And Aiden Tuckwell, I absolutely valued this so much. To tell his mum he loves her while she's standing on the side, debut game. She's driven him to footy for the last 10 years. I don't know her personally. That's the I nearly swore then. That's the stuff that I love.
Yeah.
And that's what community footy is all about. We can't take ourselves too seriously, Phil. We're creating a connection in community, and I'm really proud of that moment.
Yeah, and that was probably for me the highlight of the game. I mean, Peter Personos was put on the show at times. Can still stood up big in the big moments. But that great mark to Tuckwell and the first goal at this level, that's magic.
Yeah.
That's what it is all about. We've got some scores, TJ, around the rest of the Adelaide Footy League. Broadview, Prince Alfred. Well, it was 10-7, and after that it was all Prince Alfred. They ran out winners by 45 points. So Prince Alfred, unbeaten.
So 45 points over Broadview?
Over Broadview.
Yep.
Glenunga, pretty much tied early. After quarter time, broke it open against Old Ignatians. Probably Old Iggy's best effort. 6-goal loss. Glenunga 89, Old Ignatians 53. Glenunga undefeated. We go to Largs. We're looking at it beforehand. We thought this would be the toughest game to pick. Well, in the end, it was Spock on the bit. Shock, sorry. Spock, shock.
Yeah, no,
that's going to get me this season a lot. I can see, I can feel it. 43-point win to Sacred Heart Old Collegians against Port District. Quite the effort. And the last one, Goodwood and Brighton. Close for most of the day. 2-point winners to Brighton.
Wow, we haven't Brighton bounced back from a 96-point round one.
Shows how a week's a long time in footy. What does that mean for the ladder? Well, the top 5 I've worked out. PAC and Glenunga still undefeated. Brighton, Tea Tree Gully, Sacred Heart, 2 wins. That means Goodwood, Port District, Broadview, 1 win. Old Ignatians, St. Peter's, no wins. That's the ladder. Time to wrap it up for the day. Going to quickly mention the Banner Crew, 9 News, Buddy Bet. We'll check out Buddy Bet during the week, TJ. Neomorph Mouthguard, Sportal, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie Sandals, New Balance, Bianco, Farm Elite Winery at Pathaway, Dartfish Sports Interactive, and of course the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Beck, any final words from the boundary today?
I think it was just good to see how Tea Tree Gully turned that game around and really got it on their terms. It's a bit up and down there. We had, our mate Pete here just turned it on with the left boot. But I think Tea Tree Gully really just knuckled down, worked on what they were good at, and just took control of the game.
Thanks for that, Beck.
If I may, Beck, absolutely outstanding today. Thank you very much for all your stuff down ground level and braving the elements while we sat in the van.
I was actually wondering if I was going to get in the awards because I did get a touchdown here earlier, but you've given me nothing there. So
okay, Beck, it's a long season. Thank you for that. Next week, Glenunga, St. Peter's. St. Peter's need to get going. Brighton against Broadview. Tea Tree Gully and Goodwood Saints. Goodwood Saints need to get going. Old Ignatians and Sacred Heart. And our match will be Prince Alfred and Port District. TJ, final words from you.
Look, it was great to have a tight, tough contest, and that's what it was. It broke open late. Obviously, the scoreboard flatters the result. The biggest margin of the day was the final kick of the day. Personos the difference. But look, St. Peter's, no one will come to St. Peter's and have an easy game. They're competitive, they're hard, and it's an exciting season ahead of us.
Certainly is. Thanks, TJ. Also, thanks to Beck, Hugo, Will, James and Liam, of course our boss John Douglas, and all the Filming Footy family. During the week you can keep up to date with all the Adelaide Footy League news on the Facebook page. The weekend wraps, wins and women's tomorrow, plays of the week, and of course between the posts, Beck and TJ, always regular stars of that show with Tony Neal each Wednesday night. For us, we'll be back next week at Park 9 for a battle between last year's grand finalists, Prince Alfred Old Collegians and the Premier's Port Districts. I'm Phil Hurton saying thanks for being with us today. In the C's, Spock by 16. In the B's, Spock by 16. But in the A's, Tea Tree Gully by 35. You've been watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
Nine News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.